red, blue, purple light. Friends, red, blue, purple light. Friends, facts, red, blue, purple light. Friends, red and blue, purple light. Friends, facts, you can get to know the ledger. Sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger. My love, just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Sacrilegious Sundays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard is the Facts remix by the 44 Tops. Let me know how we doing on the audio. Let me know how we sounding on the audio. You dig? Let me know. Audio is good. All right. You know, we got like a time delay. It's like a 10-second, 20-second time delay. So I'll say some shit and I gotta hear. I gotta wait until y'all get it. But yeah, that's good. That's good. We good on the audio. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's do the roll call. See who's in the building on this beautiful Sunday. It's the first of the month. Get up, get up, get up. And the first of the month. And this is the last month of December. The last month. It's the end of the Jason months, my niggas. It's the end of the Jason months. Clap it up. Yeah, clap it up. You know what I'm talking about? If you still here, if you survived and whatnot, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we made it. We made it through the Jason months. It's the first of the month. It's the countdown. We are soon going to be waving 2024 goodbye. You know what I mean? We're soon going to be waving 2024 goodbye. Tonight, I believe we're going to be doing a caller that we was going to do that last night. We were going to do the open calls, but we got into this conversation that took us in a time machine for 3 hours, fam. 3 hours, chat. We was in a time machine, and I was listening back to that show today all day, reminiscing. You know, I went down a rabbit hole. I promise you. I was listening to all of the 80s hits. I was on YouTube just tapping in. I put together a plan moving forward that I have for a streaming show. I'm not going to share it right now. It's still a formulation and whatnot, but I'm just saying that the vibes were immaculate. You know what I mean? And I want to thank everybody who pulled up last night because y'all really set the tone. You know, we was in our bag and whatnot. I'm actually gonna edit some of those. I'm gonna take some clips out of that show last night, edit it, put some visuals to it, so y'all can really see what we was talking about. But yeah, new moon energy, new moon energy. Let's do the roll call and we'll talk about this moon, and then we'll talk about this. We'll open up the lines and we'll tap in. You know what I'm saying? We'll get tapped in. We got the Bronx in the building. We got Hampton, Virginia in the building. Palm Beach, Florida is in the building. We got the BX. Shout out to the BX Poughkeepsie, the Bay Area, T Dot. Houston up in this thing. Harlem, big Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we doing on IG. Shout out to the IG fan. We ain't forget you. You know what I'm talking about? We got the IG fam in here. You dig? And the IG fam, I don't know what they are talking about, but we'll get back to them. You know what I'm saying? We have Bama tapped in. Columbus, Ohio is tapped in. You dig? We got who we got up in here? Florida, Portland, North Kakalaka. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all of y'all. Who else do we have here? Portland, Fontana. We got Fontana. We got Sacktown, Spartansburg, DMV up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to the DMV. You dig? Who else we got up in here? West Los Angeles, Hollywood, CT, Seminole. Shout out to the Seminoles. Shout out to the Seminoles. Fort Covert. What? Okay, Killeen, Texas. Shout out to Killeen, Texas. Shout out to Gibson. Shout out to Kansas City. Far Rock, America. I remember you Far Rock niggas, man. Y'all so different people, man. Shout out to Far Rock. What was that? Fern? What, Red Fern and all of that? Yeah, rest in peace to Stack Bundles. Detroit, we got Gullah Geechees. What up, though? The Detroit is in the building. We got West Las Vegas up in this thing. You know, I'm talking about Naptown. We see you. What up, Naptown? Detroit, y'all talking that shit. Y'all got that football popping and whatnot. I see y'all. Philly, I see y'all. How y'all doing with I think Philly is doing a thing in the NFL too. Georgia up in this thing. Yeah, so the family is here, man. Shout out to all of y'all on this beautiful Sunday. Like I said, you might not be aware of it. You might not be aware of the thing, you know what I'm saying? But we are in a new moon and Sagittarius energy right here. I'm gonna talk about it because, you know, have this conversation tonight. We want to talk to, our audience about the Jason months. You know what I'm saying? What has the last few months been? You know what I mean? Like what were you going through? What was the change? You know what I'm saying? What was your challenges? Because this is not about no feel-goodisms. You know, people be going through shit. You know what I mean? They get challenged and whatnot. So we are here to talk about it as a community. You know what I mean? As a collective. And, you know, y'all also could drop some ideas and plans that y'all might have moving forward into 2025. That's also important. But yeah, this powerful lunation on December 1st signals the start of exciting new chapters across the zodiac. On December 1st, the new moon in Sagittarius brings a spark of optimism and adventure, inspiring everyone to embrace fresh opportunities. As the sign ruled by Jupiter, the planet of what? Luck and growth. Sagittarius encourages breaking free from old patterns and embracing new journeys. This powerful lunation signals the start of exciting new chapters across the zodiac. You know what I mean? There's some good energy right here. You know what I'm talking about? While the energy of this new moon positively impacts all signs, 3 zodiac signs are set to receive cosmic blessings during the first 2 weeks of December. Get ready. Gemini. The new moon, November, kicks off December with positive energy for you, especially on a love front. Whether personal or professional, your connections are about to see big, exciting changes. This is a time for fresh starts, filled with hope and opportunity to strengthen bonds. You should keep an eye out for signs or messages from the universe reminding them that life is better when they're part of a team. Flying solo or staying in the background won't work anymore. To build lasting and meaningful connections, they'll need to put in the effort to nurture trust, closeness, and deeper understandings in their relationships. Leo, you lit. This new moon fills your world with fresh creative energy, whether it's diving into art projects, enjoying concerts. Aquarius, November new moon brings a wave of inspiration and good fortune, energizing their goals, ambitions, and social connections. This is the perfect time to focus on building meaningful relationships, attending networking events, and getting clear on the dreams that you want to turn into a reality. To make a long story short, my geniuses, take full advantage of this moon. Get your get your journals out and whatnot. Get on your storyboards. You feel me? Like, get in your bag. You know what I'm talking about? Put your crystals out. Do what you got to do. Take a goddamn spiritual Epsom salt bath. You know what I mean? Whatever you need to do to tap in, you go ahead and you tap in. You know what I mean? Because that energy is conspiring for your success. Okay? It's conspiring for your success. New moon, your moon is in the okay now. You set up, you know what I mean? You good. Yeah, Leos, you lit. Take full advantage. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's up. So I'm gonna drop the link. Yes, the Jason months ended yesterday. We are in a new energy. You know what I mean? December is the countdown. You feel me? This year went very fast. I promise you, this year went mad quick. Yeah, Joe Biden pardoned his son, as he should. The fuck? As he should. I'm pardoning my son. If I was the goddamn president, would you think I'm gonna leave my son to deal with the fucking, to go and get put in a dungeon? I don't give a fuck what he did. He's gonna get a pardon. You know what I mean? That's what fathers do. So shout out to Joe Biden for whatever the fuck he's doing to take care of Hunter Biden. You know, Hunter Biden, his ass is finna get in trouble. I mean, for everybody that wanted to see his ass go to jail and whatnot, that was betting against them. Don't worry about it. This nigga's a whole fiend and whatnot. He can't stay clean for that long. And the Republicans, you know, they're gonna try to find a way. But yeah, that's expected. And this, you know, that's why, you know, white people and karma, or we call clear people and karma, they just don't connect. Like, they don't, I don't think that they have karma, because Joe Biden put millions of niggas in the pokey. He put a lot of people in jail. Put a lot of people in jail. You know what I'm talking about? He put a lot of people in jail, bro. He's responsible for locking the hood down from 94. He's the 94 crime bill. Lock up the super predators. That's Mr. Joe Biden right there. You know, he was the one who was pressing dudes who got caught with crack and everything to, you know what I mean? He was sending them up. He was sending them up. So he knows, you know, the sins of the father is going to fall on the son. He knows that if Hunter goes behind that wall, man, the karma is going to be real. You feel me? Because karma starts working when, you know, you move the chess piece to the right position, meaning that, yeah, karma is real, but that shit will really kick in when Hunter goes to jail. It's kicking his ass in the streets, because his karma is he did all of that to show hate and disdain for people who had drug dependencies and whatnot, and his own child is a zombie. You know what I mean? Like, that's the karma. He got to look at that. He has to deal with that. He has to walk around knowing that, you know, your colleagues, your peers, even though a whole bunch of those people in Congress and in politics and whatnot, they children are straight up fiends, all kind of shit. They like the dregs of society. However, the goddamn president You know what I mean? The president. The one thing that you try, you would think that all of these children would be upstanding, righteous, quote unquote, blue blood crackers. But nah, there's a whole fiend, you know what I mean? With wild sex tapes running around, and this nigga Hunter Biden has a whole website exposing him. So that's the karma right there. You know what I mean? And yeah. So shout out to Joe Biden. He's going out bad. His legacy. I hope for y'all Democrats that are in the chat, you feel me? I hope this is your wake up call. We not, you know what I'm saying? You get a pass, but we need to see in the next 4 years, y'all have to redeem yourselves. Big time. You can't keep carrying this motherfucking same facade moving forward. You're gonna have to redeem yourselves, man. You need drop that shit. We need to see y'all drop y'all flags. We need a mass conversion in Times Square or something. We need a mass baptism from you niggas. Like, we need a conversion. Not to you don't have to become a Republican. We just need to see you drop the flag. We need to see you drop the flag. You know what I mean? Because that's a defunct party if I've ever seen one. Kendrick said, watch the party die. Yeah, I want to die with it. Because the shit it's in hospice. You want to die with it? You know what I'm talking about? You're not willing to drop your flag. You keep holding on to that shit. You stay on the Titanic if you want. You know what I mean? We'll see how this one ends. But it's a wrap, man. Like, if this didn't show you, because he was literally standing up there months ago, like, I will not pardon my son. Let's go and look at the article. I will not pardon my son. I will not abuse the powers of. Then he went ahead and did it. But don't get mad at him, because Donald Trump was pardoning Kodak Black and a whole bunch of shit. Donald Trump was, you know what I'm saying? Like, Donald Trump is going to pardon the January 6 people. He's going to pardon all kind of heinous motherfuckers. So, it's just politics at the end of the day. He who wins the war gets to change the rules and do what they want to do. This was one of his last, he gets to, because after this, Joe Biden is going to ride off into the sunset and right into the middle of the ocean. There's no more Joe Biden after this. You know what I mean? So this is his last hoorah. This is his last hoorah. And these people is going to come after him. These motherfuckers is going to come after him. They want his head on a goddamn on a pedestal. You feel me? They want his head on a pike. And the dude that they picked to run the FBI, the Indian dude, he's a straight MAGA. He looks demented. For real. This nigga looks demented. He's going to be bloodthirsty. He's going to be sniffing all of them out. He got enough balls to go after Obama. So it's going to be an interesting 4 years, like we said. So yeah, he pardoned his son. Yeah, I might not really be familiar with this guy's antics and whatnot, but boy, oh boy, let me tell you, he is a motherfucking nutcase. He is Hunter is something else. Hunter, let me just tell you one thing about Hunter, how low Hunter goes. Hunter had a brother named Bo, right? Bo was like Sonny in The Godfather. You know what I'm talking about? Bo was that nigga. Bo was like, Bo was like, when you do the story of JFK had a brother too who was like that dude. You know what I mean? He was the one. You know how they have these families and whatnot. And you seen the Penguin, and right? You seen the TV show The Penguin, right? And the nigga Penguin it was 3 brothers, and Penguin was the last brother, and he had a deformity and whatnot, and he had an older brother who was like the alpha, right? So Bo was like the alpha of the family. Bo gets killed I think he dies of fucking brain cancer or some shit, right? He's like a decorated war, he was all in the armed forces. But this nigga Hunter went ahead and married Bo's ex-wife, bro. Come on, fam. And Joe Biden allowed it Fucking Jill Biden sat back and turned the other cheek. Like this dude, Hunter Biden, went ahead and wifed up his brother's ex. Now, in some people's mind, you know, depending on where you live, shout out to Boise, Idaho. You know what I'm talking about? Depending on where you live, shout out to the trailer park niggas listening and whatnot. Depending on where you, shout out to the Netherlands, you know what I mean? Just depending on where you live, because this is a territorial thing. You know what I mean? Because I remember if it's niggas from Rome in the building, shout out to Rome, not Georgia, Rome Coliseum, nigga, the Rome, like shout out to my niggas in Rome, because in Rome they was saying that you can marry the widow of one of your family members, right? That was that you would absorb her. Like, yo, my brother went out to war, never came back. It is on me to take care of his wife and, you know, pipe her down and take care of the children and absorb her into my family. I think that was a Roman thing. This nigga thinks he's in Rome and whatnot, because I never heard of no shit like that. They don't do that in the hood. But that's what he did. That's how low he goes. Okay? This is just one of the things that this nigga has done. He has a whole website out on him. And it's not safe for work. You know what I mean? It's not safe for work. He got Diddy videos. You see how they had the video with Diddy in the hotel with Cassie? They got Hunter videos like that. You know what I'm talking about? Where he butt ass naked running hookers down in the hallway for the pipe. Pause. Type shit. This nigga Hunter's diabolical. You know what I'm talking about? So he's a certified crash out. He's gonna crash out in these next 4 years. There's no way that Donald Trump is president and Hunter doesn't smoke crack. There's no way that Donald Trump is president and Hunter doesn't pop an Adderall. There's no way that fucking Donald Trump and his band of fucking his peanut gallery is running shit and Hunter doesn't withdraw and has a relapse. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time before he crashes out. But yeah, he don't have no shame. So don't feel sorry for Hunter when you see it. His dad just bought him a few, you know what I mean? He just gave him an extended lifeline and whatnot. But Hunter is a crash out. You feel me? Hunter is a crash out. Karma's a bitch, you know? Karma's a biatch. Like, god damn it. So yeah, man. That's Hunter's story. Who knows about this Rothschild story? Who heard about this Rothschild story? This thing is, I need my internet sleuths and whatnot to get on this shit. Like, give me some information about this Rothschild story, because they out here knocking off Rothschilds and whatnot. They done burnt up a Rothschild in LA. And then they try to say some stupid shit like hoarding was the cause of his death and whatnot. So in LA, right, there is a place called Lookout Mountain. Okay, there's a place called Lookout Mountain. Now, Lookout Mountain has a very significant role in history, because if anybody is familiar with the hippie movement and whatnot, right? If anybody is familiar with the hippie movement popped up out of nowhere in LA, right? Near what they call Lookout Mountain, right? But the thing about the hippie movement is that they had a lot of ties to the CIA. Not only did they have a lot of ties to the CIA, when you look at the way that they began to flood the West Coast with LSD and psychedelics going back into the hippie era, we talking about the 60s and all of that, you know, MK Ultra, psychedelics, LSD, you know what I'm talking about? The dude Leary and all of them. This shit is weird. It's straight, yeah, Charles Manson days, right? This is when Charles Manson and them popped out, and they were also some of the inhabitants of Lookout Mountain. We're gonna go and we'll probably go pull up an article on Lookout Mountain and do a little bit of digging on that and whatnot. But it's so coincidental that the Rothschild fire took place over there on Lookout Mountain. Now they're like, look, a lot of people say the Lookout Mountain, there's a lot of CIA assets. It's a CIA hotspot over there. You know, you want to talk about tunnels and other things like that and weird shit, you know what I'm saying? Lookout Mountain, Jim Jones, yeah, all of that Jim Jones, Charles Manson shit. But when you look at it, nothing really changed. Nothing really changed. They just changed characters. This shit is still in the music industry. These people basically cut their hair, shaved their fucking shaggy beards off and whatnot, changed clothes and got into, you know, pharmaceuticals. They became big pharma. They got into the industry. They got into the record labels. They got into the porn industry. You feel me? Yeah, the satanic panic, the shit that took over. It was a whole thing called a satanic panic that gripped the West Coast during the rise of all of these crazy ass hippies and whatnot. You feel me? It's all in the jail systems and shit like that. The biker gangs, you know what I mean? All CIA. You feel me? That's why I be telling people, do not send your children to Hollywood. I don't give a fuck how talented and cute they are. Don't do it because you're not savvy enough. You haven't proven you're not savvy enough. You can't beat these people. I don't think so. You're not savvy enough. You can't play ball with these people, bro. The minute they dangle a motherfucking carrot in front of your face, you biting it. Do not do it. Build your own Hollywood. Build your own Hollywood. Okay? Let me pull up this Lookout Mountain. CIA hippies LSD mustard. All right, let me read the article about my dude, the Rothschild dude that burnt up and whatnot, and then we'll go into a little bit of this information. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's familiar with the Rothschild family. This is the banking. These are the people that they say running shit. You want to talk about Illuminati? When we were coming up, this was like 1990s. Like this was, you know, this was consciousness 101. You know what I mean? Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper. This is pre 9/11. This is before the towers fell. So everything was really about the Rothschilds. You know, this is what you get in consciousness elementary school. You know what I mean? Like this is conscious Sunday school. You learn about the Rothschilds, you know what I'm saying? The Red Shields and whatnot, the banking family out of these were small hats. You know what I'm talking about? And they spread out around Europe and whatnot, basically took over, you know what I mean, amassed fortunes upon fortunes upon fortunes, funded wars, funded revolutions, played both sides like Don King and whatnot, and were responsible for, you know, shaping the banking institutions and what we see as central banking and whatnot, IMF and all of this stuff, fingerprints of the Rothschilds all over it, you know, countries going into debt, Rothschilds all over it. You know, the excavation of the gold all over it. Is it real? Okay, is it real? The creation of is it real? The birth of is it real? Right? There's something called a Balfour Agreement. Okay, the Rothschilds all over it. So when you see is it real, and you see the fangs coming out and they killing children over there and they bombing shit, and the whole is it real looks like the cover of Not Like Us with those PDF file dots and whatnot, with those PDF files, whatnot. That is all Rothschild energy. Okay, that's all Rothschild energy. So not only are these people dealing with the banks and whatnot, when you hear all of this shit about adrenochrome, when you hear about these rituals, baby shit, what P. Diddy was doing, baby shit. compared to what they say that these quote unquote Luciferians be doing in the hills of Hollywood. The hills have no eyes, right? The hills have no eyes. What's the new movie out where they talking about rituals and they talking about, you know, haunted houses? Not really haunted houses, but you know, people being held prisoners in these houses, and you know, all that spirit cooking, the draconians type shit. Blink twice. Yeah, all of that. Who saw Wicked? I didn't see that with the bald-headed African chick. I didn't see that, but I know that it might have some things in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's all Rothschild energy. The last Rothschild that made transition and kicked the bucket, this nigga looked like Skeletor. He looked crazy, I promise you. Scary. It's hilarious, spooky, scary, crazy, hilarious. He looked crazy, bro. I'll pull his pitch up in a minute, but remember Tales of the Crypt? Yeah, that was his doppelganger. You know what I'm talking about? So the neighbors identified the body of a man found at a LA residence gutted in a fire as a member of the prominent banking family. So on November the 29th, which was Friday, a house went up and a man was found inside of the house, you know, burnt up, right? So we know, I've seen movies like Michael Clayton. I've seen enough quote unquote movies to know that, you know, they'll knock you off and then turn the damn stove on and light your shit up and whatnot. And it will take, you know, investigators a very long time to find out the cause of death. But while you're doing the research and, you know, you got this detective that's staying up all night, you know what I mean, drinking coffee, trying to break the case, you know, he gets a deposit of 800 Bitcoins. You'd be like, okay, motherfucking, this nigga died from a fire. It's an accident. You know what I mean? Like, they'll buy you out or they'll knock you off type shit. Or they'll make sure that the person that's assigned to the case is already purchased. You know, he's crooked on some, what they call that movie with Denzel. You know what I'm saying? On some Training Day type shit. We talking about LA. Remember, keep in mind, Hollywood. Well, we know it's Hollywood, right? California prior was not California that we know today with Hollywood. Hollywood was created, right, by gangsters. And we're not talking about gangsters, we talking about mobsters. Yeah, a lot of people was talking crazy about the Deliverance, and I promise you, I have an aversion to Lee Daniels shit. Like I start breaking out in hives when I get around Lee Daniel Productions. Him and what's this nigga name? Tyler Perry. Can't do it. I can't do it. I'd rather just read the summary and whatnot. I can't sit through none of their movies, bro. I really can't. Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and low key, I'm 1 foot in and 1 foot out with Jordan Peele. 1 foot in, 1 foot. No disrespect to Jordan Peele. It's just something just happens. I don't know. You know, something just happens. But the Gooish mafia built Hollywood with money, right? Illegal money, a lot of gunplay. There was a lot of murders. Yeah, remember the Sharon Tate? Yep, it was. I'm talking about there was a lot of people that got laid down the same way that Las Vegas was erected, on the bones of a lot of people. There was a lot of murders that took place for Las Vegas to even be erected. But prior to Las Vegas and Hollywood was a 2-for-1. And it was built and it was fashioned by crooked people. That never changed. Nothing never really changed in that situation. Okay. So it's been crooked ever since. And the judges, the police officers, they're all real, you know what I mean? All controlled by these real estate agents who basically hide in plain view. There's nothing to hide. They're in plain view. Yes, empire of their own, was a great book to start out with. They give you the groundwork. They don't really hold too much back. They don't hold too much back in the book Empire of Their Own, but they're not going all the way in. But that's a great book to read to get the specific details about who these people are and what these people be about. You feel me? So definitely go and get that book. Or there's a documentary that you could watch on YouTube, but it's not as deep as the book. Yeah, you said Archons. Yeah. I'm telling you, some niggas in them hills. There's some niggas stashed in them hills and whatnot. You know what I mean? Do not underestimate, do not underestimate for 1 minute the fact that it's some melanated people behind a lot of this stuff. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Don't put it past them. These people are not doing all of this shit by themselves. They be having us feeling like we in victim mode, like, oh, it's everybody against us. No, nigga, it's niggas that look like you against you too. Come on now. I be around white people or what they call clear people. They not that sharp. They not that sharp, man. You know what I'm saying? They are not that sharp. You know what I'm saying? We be fooling ourselves thinking that they are so sharp that they the ones that's running shit and holding us down. Nah, fam. What? Come on now. Come on now. That's not them. They getting helped. They're getting an assist, a no-look pass. You know what I'm talking about? That's what's happening. But anyway, let's read up on my guy and see what's happening with him. A man was found dead. Neighbors of the Laurel Canyon house said that the man living there was William A. D. Rothschild, the reclusive millionaire. According to the Los Angeles Fire Department, they responded to the blaze at 4:33. It took 45 firefighters and 30 minutes to extinguish the fire. 45 firefighters. They were able to prevent the flames from spreading to nearby vegetation or other structures. During a search of the home after the fire was extinguished, firefighters found the body of a man. The house was also said to be a potential fire hazard with possible hoarding conditions. Yeah, hoarding. Okay. No other injuries were reported, but neighbors told the Times that Rothschild's dog, an Afghan hound, hasn't been seen since the fire. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. La 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 la. Neighbors describe Rothschild as a reclusive and eccentric millionaire who owned vintage cars and multiple properties on the same street. That's what they always say. It was very sad. He was a good guy, a good neighbor. The Rothschilds are a prominent Jewish family originally from Frankfurt, Germany, who have dominated European banking. The family is often regarded as the richest family in the world with an estimated net worth of what? 15 trillion. Rothschild family members have been given noble titles from both the English monarchy and the Austrian Empire. Thursday, the family's holdings are diversified to include real estate, financial services, mining, energy, agriculture, wine, among other interests. They are also noted art collectors and philanthropists and warmongers and, eaters of children type shit. Wasn't some of them on the Titanic? Nah, I don't think so. Them niggas put them people on the Titanic and sunk that shit. And that's how they was coming up. So let's go ahead and read up on this place where he was at. The key thing is Lookout Mountain, right? The key point is the Lookout Mountain. Okay. I don't want to play this Joe Rogan shit and get clipped. The Laurel Canyon conspiracy suggested the CIA and the U.S. military orchestrated the 1960s hippie movement and rock music scene to undermine the anti-war effort. Key elements of the theory include Lookout Mountain Air Force Station, a military propaganda production facility located at the head of Laurel Canyon, equipped with sound stages and full production capabilities. It allegedly produced classified films for the Department of Defense and the Atomic Energy Commission. So, coincidentally enough, right, where the hippies and this whole hippie movement popped out of nowhere, right? It kind of like just popped out, it surfaced out of nowhere. But the place where it popped out at, the place where it mushroomed and emerged from was an area called Lookout Mountain that had an abandoned Air Force station. There was basically like a fucking sound stage, right? Where you could make movies, you could make the moon landing. They were like, yo, the moon landing was filmed up in this bitch right here. You know what I'm talking about? The moon landing type shit. And you know, it was just such a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? You said that they were making those Man from High Castle videos type shit. Yep. The information provided in or through this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and solely as a self-help tool for your own use. Thank you. Thank you. So let's continue to read about these Lookout Mountain things. CIA and LSD. The theory claims that LSD and a hippie culture were invented by the CIA to hook young people on sex, drugs, and rock and roll, distracting them from opposing the Vietnam War. That doesn't make too much sense. In my book, I don't know about your book, but the hippies that was out there on drugs and fucking listening to rock and roll and having sex, that was called the Cultural Revolution. These niggas wasn't trying to go to war. Military connections. Many prominent musicians of the era, including Jim Morrison, were allegedly children of high-ranking military officials. Morrison's father, for instance, was reportedly the head of naval operations for the Vietnam War. Okay. Music scene as psyop. The sudden emergence of fully formed bands like the Doors is seen as suspicious, suggesting that they were created as a part of a military psychological operation. Okay. Dividing the anti-war movement. The hippie culture allegedly transformed the clean-cut anti-war movement into one associated with drug use and counterculture, causing many Americans to choose sides and ultimately leading to Nixon's election. So, you know, Nixon, damn, I really want to watch this video with Andrews, because I be going in about Mark Andreessen, right? Who is one of the four pale face horsemen that I speak about. He was on Joe Rogan recently. He, you know what I mean, dropping some information because he got a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? He got information, and he was just on Joe Rogan dropping some bombs and shit on information. But yeah, you know what I mean? We would definitely dig deeper into this. I think I would bring somebody like a Rashid to speak about this, because I'm sure that he could do a bigger deep dive on shit like this. You know what I'm saying? How many people in the chat ever tried LSD? You know what I'm saying? Who saw the movie Jacob's Ladder? Oh my goodness. Who remembers Jacob Ladder? That was the movie about LSD. That shit was spooky. Jacob's Ladder. That was my shit, bro. They was talking Jacob's Ladder. Remember the scene where dude was in the car and then he like his head turned like The Exorcist? That's one of those must-see films too. I don't know. We gotta have movie day up in this biatch. But Jacob's Ladder was that shit, bro. Oh, they made it over? Let me find out. You can't make that over. Trying to pull up a scene on it so we could all watch that shit, but I'm telling you, that was one of those things. That was one of those spooky. This is a scene from Jacob's Ladder. They was experimenting. He's a soldier. I guess he's a soldier that comes out and he's having these flashbacks on how he was experimented on and whatnot. But this shit is real spooky. Not scary like a scary movie. It's a psychological thriller. It's a psychological thriller. Shit'll have you tweaking. It will have you tweaking. You know, but it's dealing with LSD and whatnot. It's dealing with the LSD. Tim Robbins is in this movie. You know what I'm saying? A real twister. You know, I seen this shit on VHS back in the days. I was kind of spooked out and whatnot. I was type spooked out. But yeah, we'll be able to watch this one day. It's not enough. Adika Butler. Okay. I'm gonna bring Adika Butler on this show. I'm definitely gonna bring Adika Butler. We're gonna have a loaded show. And yeah, we gonna definitely gonna go in because he be having a lot of research. That's my guy right there. He gets to it. Yeah, the remake has Michael Ealy in it. Yeah, I think I might have saw I think I saw the remix. I'm saying go with the original. Go with the original. We don't do reboots over here. I've never seen Hollywood reboot a movie and it was better than the original. Never. Like I promise you. They try to do so many fucking reboots and none of them shits make any sense. They low key are trying to play you niggas. The younger audience, they trying to play you. I promise you. They went ahead and remade The Honeymooners, my nigga. 21 Jump Street. Y'all low key should have revolted at that point. They trying to play you. They trying to dumb you down and say that you niggas don't have no culture. You feel me? Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't, shout out to my guy. Shout out to Cambada. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to anybody who fucks with the LSD. But I've said publicly on this show, and I'll say it again in case y'all didn't hear me. Do not fuck with that shit. I don't give a fuck how cool you think you are. I don't care how much you trying to experiment and what. If you want to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, nigga, then go ahead. But no, nigga. If it's not grown out of the ground, you get a huge no from me. I'm not. And Cambada gets an exception because he's an alien. But no, nigga, don't do it. I promise you, don't do it. Don't do it to your brain cells. You do not want that trip. You know what I mean? You'll be seeing demons, gargoyles. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets spooky. That shit gets spooky, bro. You know what I'm saying? I promise you. That gets spooky. And shrooms is not grown in a lab. Like LSD is a chemical. I'm against chemicals that are not, I'm saying they say that LSD is extract. No, if the shit was made in a lab and CIA got something to do it, no, nigga, don't do it. That's fucking acid. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because it's been a thing in this community where people are so quote unquote, they're chasing they're chasing tails in this community. They want to get their superpowers activated, or they want to catch up to some of the what they call psychonauts. They want to get they want their bars. They want to get bars from the fifth dimension and shit like that. So they're out here cheating skipping the line, jumping the fence, you know what I mean? And doing things that could potentially put them in a place where they outside talking, but there's no Bluetooth. You ever seen them niggas? Huh? They having long conversations. They doing podcasts with no mic type shit. Huh? Niggas got a whole podcast going on. No mic and no guests. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that person. Okay. Oh, ASAP Rocky was on LSD. He was pushing that. He was pushing that. I didn't even know that. I don't even know that. Now, the shrooms is one thing. You know, the shrooms, I talk about the shrooms and the bufu. You know, don't sue me. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's some natural shit. And to be honest with you, it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, bro. I promise you. Not for everything. Niggas hear people having conversations. CMOS is not for everybody. The fuck it. Like, it's not for everybody. And I'm going to just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Do not get enticed by these lofty ideas that you are going to, you know what I mean, somehow open up your fucking pineal gland and turn into Billy Carson overnight by dropping some acid, my nigga, and listening to Bon Jovi. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen like that. I don't think it's gonna happen like that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna happen. Here we go. LSD does not do what you're specking about. You got to spell properly, because you got me thinking that you kind of like, you know what I mean? If you say LSD does not do what you're specking about, then I'm going to look at you like, nigga, you're gone. You know, what's popping? Could we get a spell check? You know what I'm saying? But I promise you, niggas is out here experimenting and they don't have limits. Nobody is out here directing. When I was coming up, if you was fucking with the hard body shit, you had a spotter. You know what I mean? You had a spotter type shit. You had somebody call a shaman. These niggas have these new niggas are so arrogant. They like, I am the shaman. I don't need a shaman. Okay, nigga. I seen you in the West End talking to yourself, nigga. Explain that. Explain that. Huh? Yeah, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You talking about yourself in third person, nigga. Explain that. So I'm an advocate that if you have a strong aura, because my research into what is DMT. Now, see, I'm torn, because when it comes to dimethylamine, triptyline, let me see if we could play the DMT song by I might get a strike for that. My nigga Jay Electronica. That was one of my favorite songs ever. He bodied that. I said that Cambada is the exception. You feel me? Y'all are not Cambada. Once again, y'all are not Cambada. Everybody is not Cambada. You know why y'all not Cambada? Because your music don't sound like him. So with all of the drugs that you niggas are taking, where's the music at? Where is it? I'm wondering. With all of this consumption of shrooms and bufu, where the fuck is the breakthrough music at? Because it has to translate somewhere. Where's the breakthrough at? I don't see it. I don't see it. So Son is different. He's wired different. Once again, we're in this place now because we got the internet where everybody thinks that they could do what the next man doesn't. You can't. It's not, you know what I mean? Some shit is in you and not on you. Everybody's not a psychonaut. Everybody's not a psychonaut. I'm just saying, you got to pace yourself. When I got introduced to certain plant-based medicines, it wasn't because other niggas was talking about it. It found me in a way. And I resisted it for mad long and whatnot because I was scared, nigga. I had fear. I didn't know what my main thing is this. If a nigga loses his mind, then it's over. All you got is your mind, bro. You could lose you could chop off your third leg, nigga. You could lose your arms. I seen paraplegics lifting weights. It's a nigga with one arm and he's playing basketball. Like you could survive. I seen a video where they had a nigga with an iron lung and he lived his whole life in a tank type shit. This faith, nigga, he could get his face ridden. You know what I'm saying? Like he could marry a woman that just likes to sit on faces, nigga. You still have life left. Like there's still hope. You lose your mind, it's over with, bro. That's how I see it. If you disconnect, if your mind is out there floating in the 10th dimension, nigga, and you still living in the 3rd dimension, you got to pay bills, it's over with. Niggas is like, if they lose, well, if I lose my 3rd leg, I'm going to inbox Elon Musk. Nigga, it's not over for me. If I lose mine, I'm gonna just hit Elon Musk on x.com and be like, fam, sign me up for the Tesla bot. You know what I mean? Sign me up for the Tesla bot, nigga, for the prosthetic Tesla bot. You know what I'm talking about? I'm coming back with a bang. No pun intended. You know what I mean? But once you cook, nigga, once your mind is gone, once they cut that umbilical cord and you not tapped into your motherfucking mind, nigga, it's over with. It is over with. You out there, you talking, no Bluetooth on your ears. No Bluetooth. You having long conversation. No Bluetooth. You freestyling and you don't have no opponent, nigga. You battling yourself. I'm good on that. And that's why I be like, nah, I'm not doing none of these mind-altering drugs, fam. I'm crazy as it is, nigga. I don't need to get the fucking boost, nigga. Y'all niggas is low-key cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and you out here pushing it to the limit. Does that make any sense? I mean, I could understand a sane nigga saying that they want to try psychedelics, but some of you niggas, y'all came out the womb kind of like loopy with it. You know what I'm talking about? And you trying to push it to the limits. Man, sit your ass down and have a smoothie. You know what I'm talking about? Man, go to the gym or something. Release the DMT naturally. That's all I'm saying. Stop chasing these rappers, because what's the difference? You like, oh, this Cam is an alien with the lyrics. Cam is lit. Cam got these abilities. Cam is like, you know, I want to be like Cam. Niggas was saying they want to be like Bobby Brown when I was coming up, you know, and they started, you know what I'm talking about? And they found out what Bobby was on. Yeah, I want to dance like Bobby Brown in my Prerogative video. He snagged Whitney Houston. Niggas was like, well, if you want to be like Bobby, nigga, here, you got to try this out. You know what I'm talking about? And they never came back after that. You know what I mean? Stop trying to live through other people. Once again, authenticity is what? The superpower. Authenticity is a superpower. So you got to be authentically you, my nigga. You want Dr. Sabi knees? Well, he wasn't trying no fucking LSD to get those knees, my nigga. He wasn't doing the LSD to get those knees. You got to immerse yourself in CMOS. Got to take CMOS baths. Yo, today is Sabi Day. Shout out to KT, the Arch Degree. He was in New York doing an event. Today is Sabi Day. You know? Yeah, you don't want that Bobby. Niggas came back with Bobby Brown jaw. I'm Rick James, bitch. So, like, if you got a lot of trauma and the shit is buried, shout out to Q Reeves in the building who does the past live regressions. I think he did one for Kendrick type shit. You know what I mean? He got Kendrick out here writing songs about he's Tupac, or he did the past life regression, And you know, he's the fucking devil reincarnated. So do the work. Stop cheating. Niggas is cheating. Y'all trying to skip the line and whatnot. Do the work. You know what the work is? You got to go through the stress. You got to go through the trauma of being rock bottom. You know, there's a lot of shit that goes into what they call the work. You know what I mean? People are just assuming that these quote unquote cast of characters that you see shining in the glitterati in front of you and whatnot, y'all be thinking that niggas just came like rip me out the plastic. I'm acting brand new. Like, no, niggas they didn't get ripped out of the plastic like that. They didn't get ripped out of the plastic like that. You know what I'm saying? Do you know some of these people's stories? Do you know what they had to do to come up? Do you know how many times they fell forward? Do you know how much loss certain people had to endure? Like, it's real. You just get to see the manicured versions of them. Yeah, Blue said don't skip leg day. Niggas is out here skipping leg day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you some bro advice to the sisters and whatnot. I'm just kicking some shit, you know what I'm saying? But if your mentals is not strong like that, I'm warning you, you could get knocked off of your pivot. And if you get knocked off your pivot too much, you might not come back and be the same person. And I've been seeing the mental health deterioration since I've been in this community, but it really started to ramp up like post 2020. I was in Harlem. Do you understand? I was in Harlem. The way that Harlem was set up was I had a table in front of me. So you couldn't touch me like that. You couldn't just grab on me. You had to reach over to the table and whatnot. But the same way that if a person is on their Instagram scrolling and you just scrolling, you scrolling past all of this energy all day. Like if you're a serial scroller, you're just scrolling through RIPs, you're scrolling through thottery, you're scrolling through a FOMO, you're scrolling through all of this stuff. So there's all of these emotions that are coming out and everything is pulling on you. I literally had that in real life on 125th Street, where the foot traffic is 100,000 people a day. Just like on a Saturday, it's almost 100,000 people walking by you. I'm looking at people. That's why I always wear glasses, my nigga, because I had to be in Harlem where motherfuckers stare at you and try to take your soul and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? And you literally got to get through 1,000 people to get one person to stop and have a healthy conversation with you. Do you know how many cuckoo for Cocoa Puff? Do you know how many people with mental health people was coming up to me? Do you know how many people was coming up to me gossiping? Gossiping is witchcraft. These niggas want to talk about other niggas, and then when the other nigga that they talking about pop up, the niggas start hugging these niggas and cleaning their shoes and whatnot. They would do that to Polite all the time. Yeah, I don't like that nigga. I don't like how his wife is dressing. Then he pop out and they be like, yo, fam, can I get a picture? Yo, I want to buy your book, fam. Oh, hold on. Nigga, I don't take none of this shit serious because I already know what it is. Okay? Shit is high school, bro. It's high school on a whole nother level. It's fourth dimension high school. I don't trust none of it. I don't take none of it serious. I don't even take myself serious because if I did, I would be broken into pieces. The whole it was definitely a mental spiritual test. You feel me? And I want people to understand the ramifications of the shit that you're playing with. You are literally juggling nuclear weapons when you sign up for this shit. This shit is radioactive nuclear material and whatnot. And you're dealing with people on the highest level. You think the streets is grimy? You think it's not safe in the hood, my nigga? You think the trenches is dark? You haven't stepped into this arena to really see what this should be about. You know what I mean? These niggas is all kind of banshees and demons and witches and warlock. You talk about Wicked with the bald-headed African chick, nigga. That's every day out here. Wicked. This nigga said, did you used to sell clothes out of a trash bag? I think I got my school drip from you are hilarious. Man, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Nigga, it's wicked out here. You gotta be able to laugh. You got you feel me? This shit is comedy, bro. This shit is comedy. At the end of the day, you gotta be able to laugh, because I promise you, if you is mad serious dealing with these motherfucking with hell's rejects that they sending out in these motherfucking, remember I had said it before, a portal from hell opened up and coughed a lot of these niggas up that you are out here that be in your inbox DMing you, the niggas on Tinder that y'all went on a first date with that you didn't pop the balloon on, niggas that are teaching and whatnot, these new teachers with face tats popping up like hell threw these niggas up. These are the devil's rejects running around and playing. Yeah, niggas stepped up out of CERN, my nigga, and dusted themselves off and try me, you know what I mean? Dust yourself off and try again. You feel me? Dust yourself off and try again. And it was like, at first, you could have get caught off guard, like what's going on? But then you really have to pay attention to what the hell was taking place and be okay with it and be like, nah, these are NPCs. You feel me? The devil is a lie. You know what I mean? The trolls have grown into human beings. These are Tesla bots, nigga. This is not real. You know? So I said all of that just to say, don't trust the weed that you out here smoking. Yeah, Q said the Little Wayne portal. You remember Gremlins? Let me pull up Gremlins to show you how this shit really went down. You remember Gremlins? I was just looking at the little clip of Gremlins earlier when fucking Stripe popped out of his back. This was in 84, nigga. This is what the fuck was taking place. Gremlins and Stripe, nigga. The little cute gremlin Gizmo turned into Stripe. That's what the fuck we dealing with. This shit right here. This is what the fuck we dealing with. Niggas was Gizmo one day and then Stripe the next. You know what I'm saying? Because Stripe came out of Gizmo. Okay, he coughed him up. Stripe was a part of Gizmo's junk DNA, nigga. Gizmo was all nice and you know me. And then what the fuck? How did this nigga come out of his back? You feel me? That's what we dealing with in this community. Niggas done turn into Stripe overnight. Don't feed them nigga chicken wings after midnight. We need to watch this together. This was man, this was my shit. This right here was a classic for real. This right here, man, Gizmo was that nigga. You feel me? Gizmo was that guy, you know? So a little bit of update about the Twitch channel. We are moving forward in full faith. Brother Red Pill is going to walk bravely into the streaming world. You know what I mean? Don't judge me. I'm not going into streaming to take any of the attention away from the teenagers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to solicit, young people on Twitch. I'm going into Twitch for a specialty niche. I'm going into Twitch, into the streaming world for my old heads, for my OGs and whatnot, and for the youngins who are caught up in nostalgia. Yeah, here's a glitch for the Twitch. Here's a glitch for the Twitch, my niggas. And what we're gonna be focusing on is like we're gonna be focusing on nostalgia type shit, the 90s. I might bring some 90s legends on my stream and whatnot, and we're gonna talk about some shit. It's gonna be like a variety show because I don't want to be one of those back in the day. Sure, remember back in the day, remember back in my day. Nah, we ain't gonna do all of that. We're gonna make it mad interesting. I'm gonna show up on Twitch rocking the gear from the 90s because I still got some of that shit somewhere in storage and whatnot. We're gonna pop up with the classic polo. We're gonna pop up with the classics. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be playing the classical music from that era, and we're gonna be having fun. And I'm gonna let y'all know when that happens. But in the meantime, between time, I need y'all to sign up to the Twitch. You know what I mean? The Twitch is up. I got my page and what I've been had the page for about a year and whatnot. But this year definitely did it for me as I paid attention to the environment that we're in, the landscape that we're in, and I seen the shift take place. And the shift fully took place in the month of November with the young god Kai Cenat. He was the one who he shifted the whole thing. So what we know as entertainment or the entertainment industry has been changed forever. It's not going to go back. The YouTube era is over, and the streaming era is here. It's here. It's here to stay. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, in my humble opinion, is definitely more interesting than the YouTube shit, because the YouTube was getting real fucking, I don't know. YouTube just fell off to me. You know what I mean? Like, it got too hood. The teenagers, the youth saved the fucking internet, bro. That's how I see it. These old niggas, they all just need to go somewhere because they are not entertaining. They don't know how to create content. They did not put their resources to use. Yeah, YouTube is Skid Row. Promise you, it's mad niggas under tents smoking the Fetty and whatnot. This shit is Skid Row for real, for real. They done beat this shit to death. Fucking Charleston White and Woody YSL and Orlando Brown. They some funny ass dudes. Characters. Keep that in mind. Everybody's in character. Characters. Even the streamers are in character. Even the streamers are in character. I respect it because it's a form of acting. I went to acting school. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but in 2003, when I was being managed by Jackie Rowe, who's Mike Tyson's sister, she put me in acting class. And she was like, "Yeah, nigga, you're gonna be an actor. You know what I mean? We're gonna get you into entertainment." I was like, I'm young back then. I ain't no fucking actor. Nigga, what you talking about? I ain't no actor. That shit is soft. I said the same thing about modeling. I said the same thing about all of these things that were like, entertainment bound and everything. And that's all the way back then. Now, these days, that's like an honor. People is like, God damn, I'm that's what I'm trying to get into. But back in my days, in like 2000, 2001, 99, that shit was frowned upon. Niggas was like, the fuck? You not out here robbing niggas? You not slinging no crack, nigga. You're not hustling, nigga. Like you're a fucking deadbeat. But I learned method acting. Yeah, you said, yeah. I'm doing all old school games. I'm like I said, I know my part. I know my role. I'm not here for the newer game. I'm not a video game type of person, but I grew up playing video games. So this is really about my childhood. I have a lot of childhood healing that I need to do from my teenager years. Like I said, I was a at-risk youth, you know what I mean? I kind of grew up real fast. You feel me? Um I was doing older shit at a younger age, and it took me to have a child to see what a 16, a 17, and an 18-year-old supposed to be doing as 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Henceforth, while I'll even watch the streamers, and that shit is therapeutic for me. Them niggas is having fun. They're having fun, bro. They're having fun. They're not trying to be adults. They're doing adult, you know, of course, they try to do a little bit of adult shit because you know these are like millionaires, like 16 and 17-year-old millionaires. I wasn't exposed to that. If you was a millionaire around us at 16 and 17, we was gonna get you. You know what I mean? Like Brooklyn grimy shit. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, the inner child, the teenager red pill, like he still needs a little bit of quote unquote love. You know what I mean? He still needs a little bit of quote unquote, he's still in here somewhere type shit. You know what I mean? So all of this nostalgia, like I promise you, me and my whiz, we was on YouTube today just listening to 1980s type shit. We was listening to, you know, we was listening to let me show you something. This is a documentary. Well, let me see. We was listening to like mad old school type shit, you know what I mean? 80s, you know, Madonna, old Madonna, you know, shit like that. That you know, shit like that is I like that. That's soothing to the soul. That's soothing to the soul. Cause I get to reminisce and I get to feel the feelings. Like I'm watching shit and I'm feeling what it felt like when I first saw it at like 17 and 18. And I'm like, wow, yo, time has flown, but it's still kind of like remain. If you can understand what I mean, like time has flown, but it still remain the same. So the way that I'm going to be able to cure any of the trauma that I have is I have to buy up all of the shit that I didn't have when I was 16 and 17 and I was out there doing, you know, dumb shit to get it. You know what I mean? Like my whole man cave is just going to be filled up with all of the nostalgia from that era because that was a defining era for me and Blue. It's when we went from light to dark. We went dark during those eras and whatnot to the point where we almost lost ourselves and we didn't even know who the fuck we was when we looked in the mirror. That's how far gone this street shit and this fake hood shit had us. And I say fake hood shit because in hindsight, it's not real. It wasn't real. It didn't. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's my history. It's my past. But it was sold to me a fake. It was fake. It was not real. You know, these are some of the commercials from 84 type shit. Where's the beef? You know, all of that stuff, you know. So this is Friday night videos. If anybody is damn near, I'm you know, my age demographics, you remember this iconic quote unquote thing right here that's spinning that said Friday night videos. This was the shit that made us. You know what I mean? Any of these rappers from Generation X, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan, Eric B. Rakim, Run DMC, LL Cool J, you feel me? Jay-Z, Big, and all of them. When you listen to their music, all they do is reference this era. If you understand, if you understand, you know, I'm talking to the, you know, I'm preaching to the choir. Y'all get it. But like, these are the things that they be talking about. This is the shit that inspired all of us, you know? So the best way to like, you got to go back to this shit and immerse yourself in it. It's always good to revisit. You know what I mean? You're never too cool to revisit where you came from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. This was my ish. Soul Train. I love me some Soul Train. You said you remember the box videos. Well, this preceded the box. The box came a little bit later. I would say that first it was Friday night videos. Then it was video music box, because this came on Friday night. And I be telling people they was not playing from Monday to Friday. It wasn't about entertainment with the music type shit. We was getting sitcoms and things of that nature. But from what I can recall, from Monday to Friday, it was business. You know what I mean? It was shit like this, A-Team, and it was all of that type of programming. But on the Friday, going into the weekends, this is when we get new music and shit like that, right? And but during the daytime, we have video music box, which came on at 3 p.m. You said the buy me the coffee link ain't working. What the fuck? Hold on. Stop for law. What's going on with that? We got to talk to them people, man. So, this is all dealing with, and hopefully it ain't just about me. It's about us. You know what I mean? So hopefully somebody that's in the building that comes from that era, they could get inspired and whatnot. And when they tap in and they seeing these cartoons and they seeing, you know what I mean? They listening to these classical mixtapes, because I'm playing classical mixtapes from the 90s. You feel me? You know what I mean? We gonna be playing some of the cartoons from the 90s. You feel me? We got the vinyls, the original vinyls type shit. Like, we're going in. I want my MTV. I want my MTV. Stop letting these niggas from my age group try to act too cool and whatnot. These niggas was on their mama's couch dancing to Lionel Richie, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna nip all of that fake cool shit in the butt. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you niggas was listening to Paul McCartney, man. The Rolling Stones. You know what I'm saying? You was listening to George Michaels. You know what I mean? Like, let it go. All of that fake tough shit ruined everything. It ruined everything, because fast forward, we in 2024, and did niggas get tougher? Did niggas get tougher? Like, how did that work out? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that get us? Where nobody believes that you niggas is tough like that. You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck did that get us? Where did it got a lot of people's wig pushback, got a lot of people locked and thrown under jail cells. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do a damn thing. All of that fake tough guy shit, it just got niggas 30 years in a pokey, and a bunch of people with gunshot wounds and early funerals and probation forever. So I'm gonna just do one more reminiscent. I'm gonna do one more reminiscent video, and then we'll get to opening the line so we could chop it up with y'all. We're gonna send a video link so you could pull up and you could do the video. You don't have to call in. You could do the video. Type shit. I'm gonna send a StreamYard link in a minute. But check this out. Right? So I gotta add some context as to what the hell was going on in New York City and what crack did, right? When I talk about crack, right? So this shit is 1989, right? So crack hit in like 85, right? But prior to that, Bumpy Johnson and them brought, and Frank Lucas and them niggas and Nicky Barnes, they brought heroin to New York City in the 70s and started destroying it and whatnot. But this is the Harlem that niggas is like, yo, they were selling brownstones for $1. If I had $1, right, I probably wouldn't have had invested. If you had $1, you still was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not buying a brownstone. This shit is for the birds, right? So this is 1989, my geniuses. This is Harlem looking like motherfucking Gaza Strip, my nigga. This shit is looking like the Gaza Strip. Every single cement building that you see, anybody that's seen Jungle Fever, remember Jungle Fever? Every single cement wall that you see that has a hole in it, like a door, that's a crack den. This is where the crackheads was inside of this raw. They would go, when you put your nose inside of that shit, you could get high. That's how much crack was in there. That's how much smoke was in there. So as you see this camera scrolling and whatnot, you're going to see these brick walls. And these brick walls, they got holes in it. There was niggas' mamas and parents and daddies and uncles and aunties and, you know what I mean? They was up in that bitch smoking it up. You feel me? Doing something strange for a piece of change and whatnot. You would have the drug dealers that were in there serving people. So that's what I'm saying. With all of these niggas that try to glorify the drug dealing in New York City in the 80s and whatnot, because y'all see New York City fixed up. Y'all see New York City gentrified. You're not realizing how heinous of a fucking a human crime this shit was, right? And why people's karma is the way that it is. You said going to the movies in the 80s. Yeah, yo, I went to the movies on 42nd Street in the 80s. And I almost shit my pants. I was that scared, yo. The movie theater looked like a haunted church, my nigga. It was scary as fuck, bro. I shit you not. You feel me? I was underage in an R-rated movie, and I was intimidated, bro. It was scary, and there was a lot of hooligans in there. You know what I mean? New York was a scary place. So this is poverty. This is what poverty looks like. This is what we was dealing with. This was the roaches and the rats that niggas be talking about. So I can't judge anybody for getting into what they got into, because look at where we look at the conditions. Nigga, this is 89, bro. But hip hop was cracking, right? The Slick Rick the Ruler, Dougie Fresh and all of that. Hip hop was popping, and that was our escape. The hip hop that came out of 89 was not talking about selling crack. It was talking about self-destruction. Yeah, this is called blight. This is called blight. They literally, yeah, they was lighting blunts in the theater. They was smoking it down. They had needles on the floor, and they had rats running across your feet on 42nd Street. Traumatized, my nigga. That's why I'm like, I need help. I need more than CMOS and motherfucking weed, nigga. I need help, nigga. A nigga still traumatized. But they were not. The crazy thing about when people say they are products of their environment and they're only rapping about what they see, lies and deceit, because the rappers were not talking about the fucking drugs like that in 89. That is. It changed in the 90s after like NWA and a few other things came about. Really, the record labels, really like Liar Cohen, really these small hats who took our plight, because remember, they are the real estate agents. So what you call plight means that these landlords, the reason why this shit look like this is because the landlords, the real estate agents, they were the ones who could have cleaned it up. They were the ones that allowed this shit to fall to look like Baltic Ave and was able to buy the real estate on the penny and whatnot. And then after they bought it on a penny, you're going to see in a minute, I'm going to show you how it got gentrified in a matter of 10 years. The shit looks completely different. Henceforth, while some of these niggas coming home from doing like 20 and 30, they like, yo, I don't even know where I'm at. Because when they got locked up, it looked like this. It looked like this. You know what I'm saying? Look at Cameron and Mace. Just look at these little niggas. Children of the corn, nigga. These niggas probably grew up to be rappers, ball players. This probably fucking Alpo and fucking Rich Porter, nigga. you know. But this is Harlem. This is what it looked like. You know what I mean? This is the energy that it had. And don't get it fucked up with all of the plight, with all of this quote unquote eyesore that it is. It was still a beautiful place. My mama lived in Harlem around this time. And we didn't really, it was still beautiful. We had the time of our life. We were, it was not as dangerous as it looks, right? A lot of this was the thing. The old heads would be in front of the building, you know what I'm saying? You know, they would know with it, you know what I mean? The buildings would be, you know what I'm saying? But there was, you know, it was shit going down. Abandoned buildings, right? You'll have a building with like mad abandoned apartments. You know what I'm saying? Look at the schools and shit. Look at this shit. This is Harlem, my niggas. Look at this shit. This shit don't make no sense. You feel me? So when New Yorkers ran out of town and went down south, them niggas went crazy and whatnot because they started seeing a way of life that they never seen in a concrete jungle. They went down south and was like, oh shit, it's houses, it's trees. You know what I mean? It's shorties out here that will cook for me. You know what I mean? Like the drug dealers they lost their minds when they went to college in the South. The Bronx looked crazier than Harlem. How about that? Yes, this was all by design. The Bronx looked crazier than Harlem, but remember, Harlem is right across the water. It's a hop, skip, and a jump from Harlem. They're neighbors. Harlem and the Bronx are neighbors. You could walk into the Bronx from Harlem, literally, right? So don't get intimidated. I'm just giving you I'm building context. I'm giving you the context of the environment. DNA responds to environment. So we would have to applaud the master teachers that rose up out of this. We got to applaud Dr. Ben. We got to applaud the C. Freeman-Els. We got to applaud all of the people who were teaching back here. Dr. Sabi was giving it up. Queen of Four, Steve Coakley, you know what I mean? Like this was really when they was turning people's lights on and saving lives and whatnot. Look at the fucking plight. You feel me? So this was the era of KRS-One, self-destruction, stop the violence. This was the era where they were saying, don't smoke crack, don't sell crack, don't kill the next man, don't get into none of this shit. And the record label, they was calling the black man God. This was the comment you would have to call you imagine that. You walking through all of the plight and you like, yo, what's the science of the day, God body? And niggas was declaring themselves God with all of this environment. Now you got people living in these quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, gentrified areas, and these niggas are scared to say that they God. They don't even, they look in the mirror and say, I don't see God. You see how that shit is crazy? You see how that shit is crazy? You got people living around White Castles and shit like that. $1 million motherfucking multi-million-dollar real estate surrounding them, and they don't even know that they God. They can't even see it in they self. But the Wu-Tang niggas, the God bodies, the nation of gods and earth, they was doing it up with all of this around them. Khalid Muhammad was teaching niggas. Dr. York was teaching niggas, right, with all of this plight. Huh? Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, they was rising people up with all of this plight. They were still managing to get across to people to like, yo, you God, you the man, you the goddess, you the earth, you're her. Don't ever forget that. I love you type shit. That's what was going on. So I'm here to let you know, you would think that this was the music reflected how shit was looking. No, it was, the music was at its heights. The music was alkaline. The music was what kept a lot of niggas in good health and in good hopes. It damn sure wasn't their surroundings. So the music was aspirational. Sugar Hill Gang was talking about watching the Knicks on a color TV. As you could see right here, these niggas did not have those Walmart color TVs in these tenements. You know what I'm talking about? So a lot of this shit started falling apart because of heroin. So when I say that I hate crack and I hate heroin, this is what I mean. When I say that I hate what I people, and I'm not going to hold them niggas that's coming home to a high I'm not going to celebrate them niggas. I'm not going to quote unquote rally and cheerlead for none of these drug dealer niggas. I'm not doing it unless they come home with a redemption arc. You know what I mean? They have to have redeemable qualities. They got to apologize. They got to make something right, because look what the fuck they did to the hood, my nigga. But I understand, but I still have disdain for what the fuck people have done to their own. Okay, because they took this show on the road. They exported this shit all around America. You feel me? They took this shit on the road. They took that crack, they took them guns, they took that violence, and they took that shit on a tour and tore down the South, the Midwest, and other places. Now look at Harlem. So this is how the shit works. This is how it works. You feel me? This is politics right here. Okay? This is politics. So what the fuck happened in the span of about 10 years? No, 30 years? I won't even say gentrification, because to be honest with you, these are not even gentrified areas that you're looking at. It's a bunch of niggas still living around here. This ain't that gentrified. You know what I'm talking about? This is not that gentrified. You know? People cleaned up. This camera's going, my block that I used to live on is behind this camera. That church right there to your right, this is when my grandfather took us to see Farrakhan and whatnot. And he brought us, we were sitting in VIP. He brought us on stage, and him and my grandfather was locked in. They was cool from all the way back in the days. These are the projects. To the right, Dougie Fresh lives in one of these brownstones. Each one of these brownstones are more than $1 million right now. Each one of these brownstones are more than $1 million right now. Each one of these. They in the millions of dollars. You feel me? Prime real estate that you seeing right here. So if you live in a place that's ran down and tore down, it looks like a war zone. I'm showing you how this real estate game works. You gotta, it's like Bitcoins, my nigga. You gotta play the long game. You need to buy some real estate or purchase some dilapidated shit and just wait for that shit to clean up, because it definitely will. And to be honest with you, black men need to get some paintbrushes, some brooms and mops, and they need to clean up all of the fucking hoods that they live in. They should be responsible for cleaning up their hoods, bro. Why we know we should not wait for no white folks to come up in our neighborhoods and uplift them shits. Nigga, it's a fucking paint job. You know what I mean? And new windows. It starts there. It starts there. You know? So when you see the neighborhoods and you see how it's run down, you know, we don't want to judge people who fell and succumbed to these quote unquote controlled substances, because it was an escape route. Shit was crazy outside. You seen the environment. Sometimes people needed to escape, so they was on angel dust. They was tooting their nose and whatnot. You feel me? They was hitting their veins and whatnot. They just wanted to get out of poverty. Okay? So I don't really hold, I don't, you know, it's hard for me to judge, but you know, it's a slippery slope. Let's just leave it at that. It's a slippery slope because, you know, it's just a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? You know? But I'm giving you, you said it looks stinking. I'm giving you the visuals, because even the movies don't get it right. Like when they try to recreate these movies and play in movies like Juice, because when if you saw it, because Juice took place in 1990, and I just showed you Harlem in 89. The movie with Tupac and Q and all of them, Juice, they didn't give you the real Harlem. The depiction of Harlem should have looked like the shit that I really just showed you, so you could have got a greater understanding of what the fuck we were surrounded by. Even New Jack City is giving you a cleaned up Hollywood version of what Harlem was looking like, bro. The shit was they start running it down from the 70s with heroin. The movies, the Hollywood is always going to polish things. They're never going to get it right. They're never going to get it right. You got to get the vintage footage, the real footage, that camera wasn't lying and whatnot. You got to get the real footage and look at shit with a third eye, so you could really see the demons that were lurking, so you could see all of that shit. Yeah, how do I save the Twitch lives? Because them bitches be erasing after I'm done. Trying to figure that out. You know? It did have it had a depressing type of energy, but I promise you, that's why shorties in Harlem had, you know what I mean? They had 5411s. You know what I'm talking about, with them door knockers. You know what I mean? And they were the ones who were, you know what I mean? With all of that environment, with all of that blight, it was still a bright memory. We still have bright memories when we think back, because it was the people that lit that shit up like a Christmas tree. It was those beautiful faces on them sisters that had the Vaseline on their faces when they came outside. It was those motherfucking doobies that they was rocking. You know what I'm talking about? It was them buns and shit that they had in their hair. You know, it was all of that type shit that had us feeling like we were still in heaven, all the way to heaven. You know what I mean? It's when we look back on that shit and footage, we were like, God damn, what the fuck? What the hell? What the fuck was we doing? What the shit? You know what I mean? You don't realize how crazy the shit looked until you look back on it, because, you know, things change in time. And it's still a mystery how everything just, people use the word gentrified too. They use it too loosely. Something else is changing your neighborhoods to make that shit look like it's Technicolor, to make it look like it's at 4K, to make it look a little bit more wealthier than what it may have looked like. It's not just, stop giving all of the energy to white folk, because they're not the only ones that are responsible for beautifying your fucking hood. You know what I mean? Yeah, all of that double Dutch type shit. You know what I'm saying? All of that double Dutch, you know, the double Dutch queens and whatnot. Like they were the ones who was helping people get past all of this poverty. Because imagine if it was just a bunch of shorties with you know what I mean, with Ugg mugs. I just want to be nice when I say it, like niggas, you know what I mean? It would have been no hope. The only hope that we had was the women, to be honest with you. Because other than that, what the fuck? Niggas had roaches, rats, pissy mattresses. Like it was bad. It was bad. Do girls even double dutch anymore? Man, I just seen a clip where Shorty was holding a TV double dutching. Yeah, they outside, nigga. They still doing it. You know what I mean? They still doing it. So I'm gonna drop the link and whatnot. I'm gonna drop the link. I don't want to do too much reminiscing too much. I'm not gonna dictate what we're gonna talk about. What I do want to talk about, because we just ended the Jason months. Yesterday was the last day of November, and the Jason months are over. I wanted to take the temperature of the people out there and to see, like, what was your Jason months like? You know what I mean? Like, I just dropped the link. So it's like, what did you make? What did you survive? What did you go through? Like, how was that experience, that roller coaster where a lot of energy was getting drawn, like through the elections and through a lot of other distractions and whatnot? They were drawing mad energy. They were spirit cooking niggas on, 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 on big stoves and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? But it was a lot of silver surfing, and nigga, we made it. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers made it through that shit. And now here we are with the victory lap going into the ending of 2024, which will go down on record as one of the illest years ever. A lot of shit this year was lit, my nigga. This was Cat Williams' year. This was the year that the motherfucking veils was lifted. This was the year that the seals were broken. This was the year where we crossed the event horizon. We can't go back type shit. You know? This was that year. From Double Dutch and Hopscotch. Remember Skelly? We used to play Skelly. We used to jump off the swing onto the gate and do Spider-Man. Like, we was lit, my nigga. We would be racing and whatnot down a block. So we made it. We pushed through. We pushed through. So it just goes to show, no matter what they throw at us, if we could make it through those poverty scenes that I just showed you, how Harlem looked, and Harlem was still producing legends. They were still giving you basketball stars. They were still giving you Cameron and Mace. They were still giving you Big L. They were still giving you Positive K. They were still giving you all of the legends that come from Harlem. With all of that plight that I showed you, don't feel bad for Harlem, because legends came up out that bitch. They still was giving you Malcolm X. You feel me? They still was giving you the legends. So regardless of what our environment looks like, don't ever fucking sleep on us. They still was giving you Ruckers, my nigga. Earl the Pearl and all of these niggas. With all of the shit going against us, we still came out as legends. So it don't matter what the environment looks like moving forward. It don't matter. You could be living in the middle of the forest. You could be living in a war zone. You could be living in a shelter. You could be living anywhere. It don't matter. Either it's in you or it's not. Okay. They got a Double Dutch Holiday Classic at the Apollo. Man, somebody should go there and record that shit. You say you remember seeing Bobby and Phil in bookstores? Yeah, they had the Lit bookstore in Harlem on 125th Street, and they used to be in there religiously. They used to be in East West religiously in the Village and whatnot. They would be all up in them bookstores. You know, they would be all up in the. Remember Jacks? Remember you used to throw the Jacks, right? Is that what it was called, Jacks? That was my shit. I used to like that game. The motherfucking of course, like I said earlier, Skelly was my shit. Hopscotch, you know what I'm saying? All of that, man. Yeah, Jax was the shit. Jax was the shit. You feel me? Niggas had Jax in their pocket. Remember Cracker Jacks? They didn't put enough fucking popcorn in that box because that shit was lit, my nigga. Cracker Jacks, man, with the little with the little gift inside. I mean, the little gift, they had the little gift inside. You know what I'm saying? Catch a girl, get a girl. Yeah, tag. They used to have the toy. You know what I mean? Man, I remember I had to open the box and it had no toy in it. That's when I knew that this crack shit was too much. I'm like, these niggas is literally stealing the toys out of the Cracker Jack box, nigga. Like, what are we doing? Giuliani. But red light, green light. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Radiohead Rich comes out of Harlem. I mean, Harlem created Radiohead Rich. You know what I'm saying? So that scene that I showed you, that it looked like bombs had hit Harlem, Radiohead Rich was getting pushed around, or he was walking around, you know, in that era right there. You know? Oh, the click clack balls. Pause. Remember the click clacks? Click click, click. Yeah, that was the shit. Simon Says. Who remembers Sadie Hawkins Day? I had went away to sleepaway camp. I didn't know what the fuck Sadie Hawkins Day was, but boy, oh boy, did I find out about it when I went to camp. Sadie Hawkins Day is like Valentine's Day, but just more lit. You know what I mean? You catch the girl and you kiss her. We was lit. We was on it. You know what I'm talking about? Kick the can. You remember Kick the Can? What's Red Rover? You gotta remind me of Red Rover. Nunchucks? Yes. Everybody was a ninja. Niggas was even coming outside with them ninja slippers on. You know what I mean? If you came outside with them ninja slippers on, you better be about that life. You're gonna get whooped up out of them slippers real quick. You know what I mean? You better be about that life. You better not come outside with no nunchucks and no slippers, and you not getting busy on some Bruce Lee shit. You getting your shit rocked. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So they said, thanks to the person who let us know about the double dutch at the Apollo. I'm getting a ticket for me and the niece. Yes, that's what's up. That's what's up. Because, of course, the movie that solidified it and the movie that made the shit legendary was, of course, Leroy Last Dragon. The Last Dragon, which was shot in Harlem, right? The Last Dragon is shot in Harlem. It was Hollywood Harlem, but it was Harlem nonetheless. You dig? And that was the shit right there. That was they captured. That was a good timepiece. But to this day, I would say that there's no timepiece that captures New York in the 90s. I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen it yet. I have not seen a ill timepiece type of movie. All of them shows get it wrong. All of them shows get it wrong. You know? They have not captured the essence, the feeling. I would say Paid in Full got it kind of like it. We talking about the 90s though, right? Paid in Full came close in a way, but the 90s era type shit like 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 90. No, there's no movie this accurate timepiece that this coming of age timepiece that captured New York City. Nope. I ain't see it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't see it. You know? The movie Crooklyn, it was not like Crooklyn. What's the other movie? Like all that Spike Lee shit, it was cute. Do the Right Thing. It came very close to capturing Brooklyn and whatnot. Yeah, clockers and all of that. Nah, it didn't do it. We talking about New Jack City. Once again, New Jack City to me would be the 80s. Belly definitely came close. Definitely came close. You know, Carlito's Way definitely came close. You know, Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society. Boys in the Hood was the 80s. Menace to Society may have been what was the time period of Menace to Society? I know it came out in the 90s, but were they depicting the 80s or the 90s in Menace to Society? Because I know that Boys in the Hood was depicting the 80s and they captured that. You know what I mean? They definitely captured that. But I wasn't living on the West Coast. I'm talking about we need a coming of age movie to capture like Brooklyn, the Boosters, the Decepticons, the Lowlifes. You feel me? The robberies, the niggas on the train robbing shit, the beatdowns. Nobody caught that yet. Nobody captured that yet. You feel me? Not that I've seen. Yeah. Oh, so no, it came out in the 90s. It came out in the 90s, but Was it? That's the year that it was depicting. Was the year that it was depicting? You know, King of New York, 80s. Was giving you the 80s. It was the late 80s, crack era, and shit like that. Get Rich or Die Trying? Nah. I didn't watch Raising Canaan, but I did hear that they put the boosters in there, some other shit, but nah. That's really Queens and whatnot. You know, that's like Supreme Team era. King of New York, it was a Fresh. Fresh was Hollywood. You know, Fresh was Hollywood. South Central was Hollywood. Rich and Alpo, like I said, that's the 80s. And it did capture it to a degree. Okay. But that's Harlem. It's not Brooklyn. We were different. We were different. We were not doing crack like that in Brooklyn. They was niggas selling crack, but Brooklyn is more for the robbers. Brooklyn is the stick up kids. Brooklyn is they couldn't really be a big Willie. Like they couldn't, they wouldn't allow a Rich Porter in Brooklyn around that time. Too many crabs in the barrel. And if anybody from New York, you understand what I'm saying when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Like you had niggas in Fort Greene, but those were like, you know, they were surrounded by 50 Cent and Killer Ben and all of them. Stick up kids. You know what I'm saying? Not drug dealers. Stick up kids. They were taking it from the drug. Manhattan keeps on making it. Brooklyn keeps on what? Yeah, Crush Groove, Ramon and Spit, all Hollywood. All Hollywood. It was a good story. Man, Hollywood. Wow, all of this Hollywood shit. You know? It was classics, but it was kind of Hollywood. Like I said, if these movies didn't depict this movie got it the closest. Education of Sonny Carson may have been more authentic than a lot of those other movies. They were more the Education of Sonny Carson was very close to capturing the energy of that era. I believe that was like the late 70s, right? That they were depicting and whatnot. I'll put trademarks around that nigga. You can't mess with you a chump. Yeah, that's where Ghostface got that sample from. That was actually the story of Sonny Carson, who's the father of Professor X from the X Clan and whatnot. These are legends. Yeah, New Jersey Drive. They kind of did it for Newark, New Jersey, but once again, that's not Brooklyn. Money and Violence. Yes, they shout out to my dude Mo. We grew up with him. He grew up. He was the young homie. He got it. He definitely got it close. He was able to capture. You know, he infused a lot of 90s type of energy into it, but he was depicting the 2000s and Money and Violence, the internet. He wasn't doing the 90s. He wasn't doing the 90s, but he definitely captured it because he comes from that. I could co-sign that. He comes from it. He was outside. Lean on Me. Yeah, Lean on Me did a little something. Deep Cover, More Money, Lean on Me. Lean on Me, that was in Jersey, if my memory serves me correct. That was Joe Clark in Jersey. And all of those movies were kind of Hollywood. I don't want to make any, you know, I don't want to kill anybody's joy and whatnot, but it was kind of Hollywood. Fame, that nigga Leroy. We didn't have Leroy's in a you know what I'm talking about? Leroy opened the gate for the Chichi Mine. Like we didn't have no damn Leroy's in our Cooley High. That's the 70s. Cold cheese in them. I cried like a baby when they killed them. You feel me? You know, but Cooley High came very close. Cooley High is almost like the miseducation or the education of Sonny Carson in a sense. Like it was almost like the movie that came after it type shit. You know, Sunset Park, yeah, Hollywood. You know what I mean? Strap was Hollywood. I was mad at Spike Lee for what he did. You know what I mean? That was kind of Hollywood. You know, it was, look at what he did with Chirac. The closest that Spike Lee came was Do the Right Thing. A Bronx Tale, legendary, classic. And to be honest with you, less Hollywood than a lot of those movies. Above the Rim was filmed in Flatbush. You know what I'm saying? Above the Rim was filmed in Brooklyn. And they kind of got it right. But, it's still towing the line. Like I said, it's room. It's a lot of room for somebody with a more authentic story. It's still a lot of room for it. White Men Can't Jump, and He Got Game. And keep in mind, all of these movies is lit. Don't let me, I'm not trying to diminish the movies. I'm not diminishing the stories. But when they come out with a movie and they say that, like, look at what they did with the BMF story. They turned this nigga into a fucking action hero. You know what I mean? Like, when they say that this movie or these TV shows are based on true events, that means that they're going to sprinkle a lot of Hollywood on the stories. Henceforth, why, and I'm not encouraging waywardness, but one of the things that I would say when I do my 2024 wrap up, right, I'm doing that at the end of this year. When I do my 2024 wrap up, when I do the top 10 things of 2024, authenticity is going to be there. You know what I mean? So I want to bring authenticity to the game. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't bring authenticity to this shit, because if you wasn't there and you don't have people who could tell the story accurately and authentically, then you're going to have, that's one of my pet peeves. You know what I'm saying? I have a aversion to motherfuckers telling the story the wrong way. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. It turns me into a maniac. Yeah, Bokeem Woodbine was that nigga. You feel me? Baby Boy. Now, whoever lives in LA, South Central and whatnot, can you co-sign if Baby Boy was an accurate depiction? I feel like after Baby Boy was more of a programming. Because remember, some of these movies created the mind states after they came out. Like, for instance, Juice. Before Juice, we didn't have a lot of bishops in the hood. Right? People were rolling around in crews and whatnot, what I call posses back in the days, right? They would travel, they were moving around 30 deep, like how you saw the Wu-Tang Clan. The concept of Juice was the one-man army. The concept of Juice created what we call the quote-unquote lone wolf shooter, right? Niggas was breaking away from their crews and their posses and trying to emulate Bishop. That's when people were getting backdoored. That's when niggas was, I'm an army by myself type shit. That's when you had egomaniacs, quote unquote, turning on their own people, killing them, right? That's where you get the situation where Alpo backdoors Rich Porter and sets him up because he wants to be bigger than him. That's what Juice did for the hood, right? They created a bunch of bishops and whatnot who were not loyal to the soil, and they created a whole backdoor culture, right? Where motherfuckers was, the enemy was within, the enemy was inside of the ranks. The reason why we had posses and crews and whatnot and gangs and whatnot, like the Black Spades and all of the gang culture, warriors come out to play, right? Is because we were protecting ourselves from other groups of wild rat packs and wolf gangs and whatnot. When you rode the train, the MTA, the D train, the Q train, when you had to go to school, when you had to come home from school, you had to have a whole bunch of people that was rolling with you because you was gonna get stripped. You would get ran down upon. They taking Walkmans, they taking polo, they take Timberlands off of your feet, they snatching chains and whatnot. They trying to embarrass you in front of your shorty with the baby hair. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas was out here trying to embarrass players and whatnot. So you had to be clicked up. And Bishop and Juice, they turned the tides with that movie, and they created the motherfucker, the break off nigga. You know what I mean? And that was that I didn't respect that. You know, I didn't respect that. And what Baby Boy did is Baby Boy created a culture after Baby Boy came out. It created a culture of baby mamas, baby daddies. It existed before. It existed before. It was there before. Niggas was on a hit and run shit. But Baby Boy, the BET playing that shit 10 million times, it created a culture. You understand? It created a culture. Yeah, Shotas, that was kind of, Shotas was somewhat, it was teetering on the line because them Jamaican niggas was definitely doing, heinous type of shit. They was definitely, bodying shit. I think they were depicting the shower posse to a degree in that movie. I would say that Hard to Kill with Screwface was giving more the shower posse. But yeah, Shotas was kind of like, yeah, it was authentic in a way. Oh man, City of God. Woo. That was my shit, boy. City of God. Yeah. City of God. That I don't live in Brazil, but I did hear that was an authentic story. I did hear that was an authentic story. Yeah, Baby Boy was a movement. Baby Boy was a movement. The same thing that happened with Menace to Society, where everybody wanted to become Old Dog. How about Fresh? That's the shit where the nigga was playing chess, right? You know, like I said, the movie with Steven Seagal and Screwface, that was more about the shower posse than Shotas was. You know what I mean? But Shotas did have a little bit of the shower posse aesthetics and stuff in it. Yeah, I love me some City of God. Yeah. Did the Million Man March affect New York? Yeah, it did. It did. It had reverberations and whatnot into New York. I was locked up. I was in Fairfax in Virginia when the shit was going down. I had a fight with a Mexican and they put me in a box. But I was rooting for them. I wanted to be there. But it came and it went though. You know what I'm saying? It came and it went. You know what I mean? If some of that money would have got put into the city, if it's some of that bread that was made, I don't know. I'm not counting nobody's pockets and whatnot. But if some, I would say that the Million Youth March that Khaled, when he was fighting the police, that had more of an impact. They had a march in New York where Khalid Muhammad was going at it he had the youth with him, and they was clashing with the popo and whatnot. That had a big impact. That had a big impact. New Jersey Drive was authentic for Newark, you know what I mean? And from where I remember, it made them niggas steal more cars after the movie came out. Like a few niggas was into car, but Newark became like the center of car theft after that. I don't know. Maybe it was before that. I don't know. But it did glorify the whole. But now niggas is doing carjacking. Like what the hell? Y'all niggas playing Grand Theft Auto, man. That's a federal crime. The niggas was not thinking about carjacking when I was coming up. They didn't have the balls to do some crazy shit like that. Are you fucking dumb? You throwing people out of their car with the baby seat still in it? Like, Nigga. I remember Strapped. Yeah. It was kind of Hollywood, you know? Yeah, they got trackers on the shit. You niggas is crazy, man. Y'all just trying to go, y'all trying to go to chill with Diddy or something, doing stupid shit like that. Like, that will get your ass sent real far up the motherfucking river. I'm talking about your ass gonna be in Kilimanjaro. You're gonna be in the mountains somewhere, the Fuji Mountains, nigga. They gonna send you somewhere where your phone don't even work. You keep playing around. Killer Season was the worst ever. Like, that is so trash. I was for like, after I saw that movie, I wanted to set it off on Cameron. I that's how much that shit was like, that's why they went through a lot of shit after that movie. Karma was kicking Dame Dash knocked his tooth out and fucking gave Cameron an ulcer. Like, that was a bad movie. That was a bad movie. State Property was a bad movie too. That's why Beanie Siegel went through some of the shit that he went through. Like, you got to keep in mind, man, niggas be attaching themselves to this dark energy. That shit is out here kicking asses. You know what I'm saying? State Property was a horrible movie. It was just too, and I heard like a Muslim nigga directed it. It was too much. They went too far with it. It was just, they was kidnapping a shorty and killed her. You know what I mean? Niggas wasn't even thinking about kidnapping girls like that before. Girls were, the women and children were off limits. In the movie, they killed the woman, bro. Like, after that, it was over for me. I was like, nah, bro, this shit is demonic. Like, Beanie Siegel had a period where he was literally tapping into some demon energy. I heard he got a food truck and whatnot, but he lost his liver. He went through a lot of shit because he was fucking around. That energy came back to smack him. And now look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia was the city of love. We used to go to the Greek Fest and whatnot. Nigga, Philadelphia, we used to go out there and hunt for Jill Scott, nigga, when we was younger. Philadelphia had the baddies, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the first place I seen niggas wearing nut huggers and Timberlands. Pause. That was the first place that I seen niggas wearing skinny jeans. This was like mad long ago. Mad long ago. And they had the long beards and whatnot, but they started getting real dark out there. I didn't understand it. But the shorties from Philly, top notch. You know what I'm saying? They was top notch. They were nigga, you could, as a New Yorker, you was flexing. You was flexing with a little shorty from Philly with the doobie and whatnot in the wild. She had the Philly accent and shit like that. Like, that was a flex. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I would say that Belly. Let me refrain from what I said. The closest, let me just remix it. The closest movie that captured the 90s is Belly. That would be the closest. You know, that would be the closest. The closest one to me, and until I may have been, you know, and that's not the only one, of course. I'm not saying that it's the only one, but in my humble opinion, as I look at it, that is the closest. Is Belly. That nigga Hype Williams bodied that shit. You feel me? Philly had the best haircuts. Yes, they had the sharp lineup. I think the nigga Steve Harvey's barber was from Philly that was giving him that lineup on his hair unit. They came out with the razors. I think they were the first ones to come out with the chalk, and they was spraying niggas with the motherfucking with the Beijing, nigga. It was Philly using airbrushes. That was them niggas. You know? Belly had a yummy New York version talking to Nas. Yeah, when he was talking to Shorty, that's from his lyrics. That was one of his bars. He had the Averex on. He was little man and whatnot. That shit was yeah, Belly still moved me, man. You said Philly still they still really they still got I don't see it. Them drill rappers they all need lineups. I guess the drill rapper niggas don't get haircuts because they not doing a good job for y'all. And Gilly and Wallow, well, we know Wallow don't get haircuts. He's bald headed. So you need more people. You definitely need more people. What was it that they had? It was Greek Fest that they had on Main Street, right? Wasn't it Greek Fest? We used to boost out of Philly. We used to go to Philly and boost and whatnot. It was mad sweet. You know what I'm talking about? They wasn't fast. They wasn't quick enough for us. So we used to catch wreck in Philly. What was that big event that they used to have on Main Street? Was that what was that? South Street. There you go. South Street. Huh? South Street after the Greek. Yes. Super lit. I'm telling you. And Broad Street. I'm telling you. They was, and you know what I'm saying? You came with the New York swag. They was on you, bro. Yeah, the nigga Skrilla don't have no fade. Where who's getting a fade out there? You know what I'm saying? You mean a fade as in a fight? Yes, South Street was, and then later on, as I grew up, yeah, Club McDonald's, super lit. They had a fucking jail right there. Matter of fact, one of my exes, she had got locked up. We had to bail her ass out and whatnot. They had a fucking jail on South Street, nigga. Y'all are super ghetto. But when I grew up, it turned into a doom day. You know what I'm saying? When I became conscious, I couldn't go to the Greek Fest no more. We started going to a doom day, and it was still lit. It was still lit. You know? You said the old heads who still have their hair got the okay underneath the kufi, you know, because one year I'll go there, everybody's Muslim. I was like, was I not paying attention before? Because I didn't see this. Matter of fact, I lived in Philly for a summer. This was 2010. I lived in Philly for a summer. I might have spent 2 nights out there because I was, you know, I had a little something in Harlem. I was going back and forth, but I had lived in Philly for a summer. You know? Nah, I respect the Muslim culture in Philly. You know what I mean? Salam alaikum. You know what I mean? Yes, y'all Muslim adjacent. I get it. You know what I mean? You know, niggas is tough wearing them jolly beans and them Tims and whatnot. I look, no judging over here. You know, I don't want no smoke. You feel me? I respect the culture. I respect the history. I respect all of that shit. Like I said, I'm a New York, I'm a Brooklyn nigga. We used to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all was top tier for us for a minute. You know what I mean? Y'all was top tier. Y'all were rotation for real. Rotisserie. You know what I mean? We held the Philly women to a high standard, and then State Property came out and it was over. The same thing happened in Harlem with Dipset. They crashed the stocks. Crashed the stocks. I don't know what happened. We went from going to Grant's tomb, you know what I mean, looking for wifey and whatnot, and it was over after Dipset came out. They turned all of those gizmos into stripes. They turned all of the gizmos into stripes. It was full gremlins in Harlem after the Dipset did they 1-2 thing out there. Flipped the whole city, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to tell people the power of these lyrics. The power of these lyrics. You know what I mean? You don't be thinking that these lyrics and these rappers affect the fucking terror. They terraform their whole hoods. Like I literally could see Philly post State Property and Philly pre-State Property was a completely different fucking state. It changed in like overnight. It changed overnight. Yeah, Dipset flipped the whole generation. They really did. You know what I mean? Them shorties was looking worn down. You know what I'm talking about? They was wearing them shorties down, bro. With the weed smoking lips and everything, the doobies, you know what I mean? They went from rocking doobies. Nigga, the fuck happened? You know what I'm talking about? Like, what happened? This was prime. This was prime real estate up in Harlem, nigga. Yeah, it's all P Valley now. Yeah, they had the Dutchy lips. Like, what the hell? But like I said, the things that will raise people back up is we got to return to a higher frequency, and it's through the culture. You know what I mean? That's why I go so heavy on the culture, because you literally can't dismiss the culture. You know what I mean? You literally cannot dismiss the culture. The culture has so many quote unquote what's the word? The culture has so much influence on the people. It does. It does. Was I in Atlanta in the 90s? Yeah, I came in 97. I came in 1997. I arrived in Roswell, Georgia. It was 3 of us from Brooklyn. I was on a run from parole, nothing serious. I think I had a dirty urine or some shit, or a curfew violation. I was like, you know what? These niggas are gonna have to catch up to me, because I'm literally not finna turn myself in. I took my show on the road. I came to Atlanta. My mom's was like, yeah, you can't come over here, nigga. You know what I mean? Welcome to Atlanta, but you too hot right now. So I was in Roswell, right? Which is like a suburbs. And we kind of got hot out there. And then I moved to Clark Atlanta campus. I literally moved to the campus and whatnot. We had went out to a club one night called Otto's. Who remember Otto's? Who from Atlanta? Who remember Club Otto's in Buckhead? That was that grown man shit. You had to wear hard bottoms and shit to come up in there. You had to wear the hard bottoms. You had to get dressed up and whatnot. So, you know, we had the, you know what I mean? We had the Gucci with the pony hair shoes. We was hitting up Phipps Plaza, and we was hitting up whatchamacallit, Lenox Mall and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? We was hitting the Gucci store and shit like that. So we met a little shorty. We ain't know nothing about I didn't know shit about Clark Atlanta. I didn't know what the hell was going on. But we met some dimes and whatnot that night, and we wound up going to their room, to their dormitory, slept on the floor, was chilling and whatnot. We wake up in the morning, and then we go and walk on the campus. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was over after that. Oh Lord. What do we have here? Yeah, I didn't go to the Freaknik. My brother went to the Freaknik, and he sent word back to New York. You know what I mean? Niggas was sending word back like Paul Revere. And we didn't have, we didn't have Instagram and shit like that. You couldn't go live. Niggas would send back a fucking a pigeon, a pigeon with a message in it, like, yo, it's lit. It's lit. Like, how did we get all of this information across to one another? I don't remember being on a payphone like that. Like, but I always knew what was going on everywhere. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I went to the campus. I seen all of them Spelman girls. I seen the Morris Brown girls. I seen the Clark Atlanta girls. And I was like, yeah, I'm never going back to New York. Like, you know how they had in the Harlem Nights, in the movie Harlem Nights, where the nigga called, he was with Sunshine, and he called his wife. Yeah, I think I had a girl back then or something. I made that phone call like, yeah, it's over. I'm never coming back. Nigga, I'm ATL forever. and it was up from there. It was up. You know what I'm saying? It was up and it was stuck. And we made our mark on Clark Atlanta campus, CAU. Anybody was in any nigga in anybody that was on CAU from the years of 1999, 98 to like 2001 and 2, you knew about Twin, Burger, and G Young, nigga. We was running, we had that shit lit. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't spent one day in class. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't spent one day in the class. That's where I met Akon. He used to come through. He had a little girlfriend and whatnot. He was stealing cars. He wasn't in the school. Everybody had a girlfriend up there. Everybody had little college shorties, and they would just pull up. It was a whole party though. It was lit. On Thursdays, they would let you sell stuff outside. They had this shit where they would let you sell on Thursdays. Oh my goodness. We had tables full of stolen shit. You had to buy something for us to take the alarm off. You know what I mean? Like we was sending, crazy. It's a movie. We got to tell a movie one day. We have to tell it. You said how many did you bag? I had not, you know what I mean? I wasn't going crazy like that. I had a little shorty, you know what I'm saying? She was the cheerleader. She was the captain of the cheerleader team. One of my peoples used to call her Ferrari because he said that's what her body looked like. And I was chilling with her for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And but then we was going out. So once we started going out and we started hitting the clubs and whatnot, some of the other chicks, you know what I mean? They was getting our attention because, they was a little more advanced than the college girls. So I used to deal with I met a girl at Magic City. She was a twin and whatnot. She was from Rhode Island. You feel me? She caught my attention, So we was rocking out for a minute. It's a long story, but yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool and whatnot. But it was fun. It was fun. You know what I mean? Atlanta in the 90s and the late 90s is nothing. When I say it's nothing like Atlanta of today, it was nothing because to be honest with you, I'm gonna share this story. Pre-BMF Atlanta, people were dying, but they wasn't killing, if that makes any sense. People were dying, but they were not killing. I was exposed to Dr. York and them, right? I used to go to the West End and I would hear about H. Rap Brown in the West End, the whole Muslim movement where they were putting drug dealers and garbage. They locked the whole West End down. Militant. These were militant Muslims. They was bodying pimps and drug dealers. They cleaned up the West End. That's why they got rid of him. And from there, I was introduced to some of the people from Bobby is from Atlanta. So when I was out there, Bobby he just finished working at Stiegel's and whatnot. And Stiegel's was basically the store on Atlanta campus, on Clark Atlanta campus. Stiegel's was like, every college has that store that feeds everybody, not the mess hall. It was like the store where you get like chicken, you would get fish and chip sandwiches, chicken wings and shit like that. You know what I mean? It was like it was the grocery store, but it was lit. Stiegel's was lit. Bobby used to work at Stiegel's, but when I got there, he was already gone and whatnot. So, I was hearing about him, but I never really got up with him until I got exposed to consciousness in Atlanta through Outkast and Erykah Badu and Goody Mob. Woo. Yeah, the wing on the Neon. Wing on wheat, nigga. The wing on wheat. That was lit. The wing on wheat. We used to kill that shit. So yeah, it wasn't violent. People was not scheming on each other back in those days. You know, the natives, the people from Atlanta, they wasn't really on shit. They wasn't really tripping like that. They wasn't, you know, anti, you know what I mean? They wasn't like hating on New York. They was influenced more so by New York back then. Because like I tell people, the day that the brother Wolf got killed from P. Diddy's security guard, this was what, 2003? That was the day that New York's reign in Atlanta ended. And that was the beginning of the BMF era. That night, right in Buckhead, the day that he killed him, I felt the whole shift. I went to Miami right after that. I was like, I'm up out of here. You know, yeah, they said 21 Savage lived on the land. I've been hearing that he was a part of the Nuwabians and whatnot. But going back to what I was saying, in the year 2000, the Nuwabians was in the West End handing out flyers because they was under pressure from Sheriff Sims. They called him. It was Sheriff Sims, a white man named Sheriff Sims. I remember that shit clearly. They was handing out flyers trying to put people on, like, yo, these racists are trying to they trying to, we have issues with them. They fucking with us. You know what I mean? But I was like, oh man, that's crazy and whatnot. I hope everything works out. And I guess it didn't. But I went to something called a Tabernacle. There was a club called a Tabernacle that was downtown near where they have the Ferris wheel near the Centennial Park. And the Tabernacle had a concert with the Goody Mob and I think Outkast. But out of nowhere, I see Erykah Badu, nigga. And this shit was so lit. I promise you, they was doing body paint on women. This was the first time that I seen conscious people my age, and they all looked like they were like happy. They looked like they were healthy. They didn't look at me. They didn't look weird and whatnot. No disrespect. They just look, you know what I mean? They look like people that I could relate to. Because keep in mind, at this time, there is no conscious community. There's no such thing as a conscious community. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as that. There was, you were into shit, you were reading books, and you were, you know, you were doing what you were doing, but there was no community to belong to that I knew about. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna get down with the Nuwabians or with the Mumia Abu. What's H. Rap Brown's Muslim name? I don't want to mispronounce his name. But I don't want to get down with that. I was in the streets, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I was in the streets heavy. Like I was locked in type shit. You feel me? I was locked in. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I was on my knuckles. Umia Abu Jamal, right? He had it on lock. And I was peeping it. I was inspired. I was fight the power. You know what I mean? I was with it all. But I wasn't about to leave what I was doing to get with that. But when I saw this show at the Tabernacle, oh my goodness. And this is part of my this is part of my my origin myth. This is part of my, what they call my my origin story, right? It was that performance. I cried. I wasn't on no drugs or nothing. I was tearing. Tears running down my eyes. I was with my nigga Black O, who's Akon's brother. I was with Red Bodix. You feel me? We was all mobbing and whatnot, and all of us, some of the niggas that I came down with, they didn't have no consciousness. They were like the antithesis to consciousness. They were the ones that were like, that my mama didn't even like them like that. You know what I mean? That's why I knew that it was one of those things where, you know, you had to be careful. But Black O and Red Bodix, yeah, them niggas was like, they was in the streets, but we were all like undercover conscious niggas type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all was conscious in a way. We were street conscious. So they was with me and we seen this shit together. I'm seeing women getting body painted. It was 3 stories. So I'm going up and down 3 stories and I'm seeing bad shorty. I'm smelling patchouli oil. You know what I mean? I'm smelling fucking frankincense and myrrh. You know what I mean? It was almost like an exorcism was taking place up in that biatch for me. It was like an exorcism. I was getting saved. I was like getting baptized, you know what I'm saying, by consciousness. You know? And they yeah, that shit changed me. That shit changed me. It changed me in a good way. It made me realize that there was more to life than what I actually thought. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I had hit the ceiling. I thought that I was the man, you know what I mean? Because I had a lot of motion at that time. I got strippers checking for me, you know what I mean? I got the girls on campus going googly eyes over me. I got a few dollars. I'm fresher than every nigga that I ever ran across in Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about? We didn't need, we New York niggas. We don't need no fancy cars. Give us some clothes, nigga, and we, you know what I mean? We've made it, nigga. Nigga, we made it. Like we accomplished. It's a touchdown. All ego. All fucking ego. Had nothing to do with real life. You feel me? Had nothing whatsoever. I didn't have no children. You know what I mean? I didn't have nobody to I had no purpose, you know? I didn't have no purpose. You know what I'm saying? I was just a New York nigga. You know what I mean? Doing New York shit. And New York niggas is all about ego. You know what I mean? We go places and we run through that shit. Like, yeah, New York stormed Atlanta. We ran through, you know what I mean? We was up in Atlanta scoring points, scoring touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? Leaving a mark and whatnot, making noise, so much noise that other New Yorkers ran down because they was like, oh, these niggas is out here having their way. You know? They're like, these niggas is out here having their way. We need to come and test this out. Like, we was acting up out there in Atlanta, but keeping it within the quote unquote, keeping it within the ranks. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't stepping on nobody's toes. You know what I mean? We wasn't doing no foul shit. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't grimy. We was just enjoying life. We was enjoying life because New York did not have all of that to offer us. New York had its limits and whatnot. So when I saw, oh yeah, remember the Omni Bar? I remember the Omni Bar. So when I saw that there was this conscious thing going on, when I saw that there was this movement that I hadn't mastered, and it was like new to me, it was almost like, and I promise you, and I'm just keeping it a buck, like I wanted Erykah Badu to be, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to be with Erykah Badu. You know what I mean? Like I had the biggest crush on her. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like there was a time when I seen her in 2003 in Brooklyn at a Black August. It was a Black August concert with my niggas Duo Live, Dead Prez, I think might have been there, right? So she be late to her shows and whatnot. So I'm like, yo, I call my mom's up. I'm like, yo, mom, I think my mom's was like in the Bronx or some shit that night, right? So I'm like, yo, mom, get in the cab. She like, what? This was like, I might have hit her around 11 or something. I was like, mom, get in the cab. I'm gonna send a cab for you. And no, this was not Uber, my nigga. This was fucking livery cabs, like with a meter. This was meter cabs back in the days. I'm like, take a cab. I want you to come and see Erykah Badu. She's like, what you mean? I was like, Erykah Badu, like she's performing. For some reason, I just was like, I want you to see her. I want you to be here. So make a long story short, she came through, boom. Erykah Badu, late as fuck, but it worked out for me. She get on stage, she got the incense burning, she pours some tea and whatnot. She's fucking sitting down and just talking to niggas. Nigga, I start crying like a fucking like a nigga in a Michael Jackson concert. She has an effect on mine, yo. She got an effect on mine, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what type of magic she be working, but she pulling on heartstrings, my nigga. She pulling on heartstrings. I was a grown man crying in front of my mama. Yeah. I was ready to get my soul snatched. I'm wiser now. I was ready to get my soul snatched. I was like, whoever she is, whatever the fuck she's doing, she's the only one that can save me. Cause everybody was around saying this nigga needs some saving. You know, this nigga needs some saving. He needs an exorcism. Something's wrong with him. He's off his, you know what I mean? He's off his meds. Like I was outside. I was outside. I was like, she's the only one that can save me, bro. Whatever the fuck she's doing. I was familiar with how she was flipping niggas, having them wearing burlap pants. You know what I'm saying? And like all kind of shit. I was aware that beads and whatnot, because I was not wearing beads at that time. I was not wearing no fucking onks or none of that shit. To me, I was clowning niggas. So I be knowing how y'all be feeling. You know, when people joke on us, I laugh about it. Cause I'm like, nigga, I was literally you niggas. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I was in my sunken place too. I was him. I understand. I used to make fun of Blue Pill. I was in a sunken place. I get it. Make fun of me. Keep on, nigga. Yeah, the crystals. Yeah, go off, nigga. Have fun. Cause I was there. So I could relate. These niggas was I was clowning everybody. But I said, her right here, she's the one that could pull me into my right senses. As you know, you said I didn't throw my boxes on stage. Now, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But everything worked out. You know what I'm saying? Everything worked. I'm glad I didn't meet her that night. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably would have been like, just take me, do whatever you want to do to me. You know what I mean? I'm glad I didn't meet her that night. And I adored her from a distance type shit. I adored her from a distance. And that's how I adore certain people, from a distance and not up under them. I adored her from a distance. I still adore her from a distance. And I'm good on it. I'm so good right now. But when I went to the tabernacle, it just gave me a new lease on life. It was like, okay, there's more to this shit. All right. There's younger people that fuck with this shit. Okay. I didn't know this. All right. Okay. I'm gonna start searching. So that started my search. When I went to the tabernacle, it turned on a light inside of my mind where it really started my search for a higher purpose. I wanted to find out, what is this patchouli oil that I'm smelling? What is all of this body paint shit? Like, what's going on with these people? You know what I mean? With these dreadlocks and this, like, what the fuck? Like, what's all of this about? And it just had me searching. You know what I mean? There was no internet back then. It wasn't like I could go and look it up. The search came from within. You know what I mean? I had to speak to myself within. I had to look in the mirror, and it gave me, it gave me purpose. It gave me some hope. You know what I'm saying? It gave me some hope. And yeah, it just that started a journey for me. I tell people that I don't tell a lot of people this story, because a lot of people don't understand this. They it's hard to paint the picture, you know what I mean, unless you was in Atlanta and you understood the climate. And I kind of gave a lot of context in this breakdown right here. But yeah, that was the shit. I tell people, yo, that night at the tabernacle changed a lot for me. You feel me? Changed a lot. You said Mm-hmm. She Get Out, y'all, with the Get Out movie with the T. You feel me? I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm letting y'all know this is to be honest with you, this is a PSA for the goddesses in the building, right? I was in I brought my mom, yo, in a cab. She didn't even start singing. I just knew I seen on a flyer. I'm like, yo, my mom's needs to see a woman like this is, I'm looking at my mom's like, mom, her is she the one? Like, do you approve? You know what I'm saying? Because your mama gotta approve of wifey. I'm like, is it her? She's looking at me like, boy, you don't stand a chance. But with the women that are out here who are appealing, y'all have an appeal. These men they may be shy. They might not tell you this. You feel me? There are potential messiahs out there, men with messianic spirits that are buried underneath a lot of bullshit, tattoos, pain, trauma. You know what I mean? Ego, right? But they get there's something magnetic about you and your personality and your authenticity, your spirituality. You know what I mean? You have this nurturing spirit to you. You have this healed spirit. You have this quote unquote, even if you have a Lilith spirit, you know what I'm talking about? People are just drawn to that type shit. And I'm giving you my personal story as to what I had went through. Because after that, of course, there was other women that put me underneath spells and had me Google-eyed and everything. That shit. I met a stripper. I was selling her some fucking clothes and whatnot. We was in a crib in Buckhead. I was selling her some fucking some part of my reparations because I got caught in reparations. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me explain. I got my reparations early and it was in the form of cotton, aka buy a half price sweater for new. I'm selling her this shit, right? I'm selling her. It might have been some BCBG type shit or some BB shit. Bad bitch, right? Stripper, Magic City. She like, yo, what's your horoscope? She like, what's your sign? I'm like, my sign, dollars. She like, nah, nigga, what is your sign? I'm like, I'm a Scorpio. Why she broke out the book? Brrr, she broke out the horoscope book. I'm like, wait a minute, what are we doing here? Because, in the back of my mind, I'm like, these women don't know nothing about this type shit. But I used to read what's that magazine with the baddies that used to be in it? Like I would read the magazines like King magazine, right? I would read the King magazine and everyone that like 8 out of 10 girls when I read the magazine, they'd be like, what you into? And they'd be like, I'm into astrology. Yeah, Smooth. I used to read like the Smooth and I used to read the King magazine. So it was no coincidence. I mean, like, how the fuck are all of these girls into like, they be like, what y'all like to do in your spare time? Yeah, I like to read. What kind of guys are y'all into? Yeah, I'm into like intelligent men. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What do we have here? Like, stop the fucking horses. Like, are you? And keep in mind, this is not social media era. This is not 20v1 era. This is like 2000 when shit like that was unheard of because everybody was a thug, everybody was a roughneck, everybody was a drug dealer, everybody was all of these things. So we didn't know what women was really into like that. We didn't know that the baddies was into intelligence. We didn't know that the baddies was into spirituality. We didn't know that the baddies was into patchouli oil, nigga. That was never something that I would have never bet the house on that. So she like, yo, she broke out the Suzanne Summers book on a nigga, right? And then she started reading me. I'm like, oh shit, how you know that? She started reading my shit. Brrr. on Scorpio. Da 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 da. Then she went and did the comparison to her sign and my sign. I'm like, are you trying to say that? You know what I mean? And it was a match. It was a matching 10. I was like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to tell you what happened after that, nigga. I was hooked. She caught me with the hook, line, and sink. She casted a spell right there, nigga. I think I sold the fucking dress to her 70% off. Nigga, I was locked in because she was a heavy hitter in that world that she was in. She wasn't no flunky. She was a big dog. So I started rocking with her. You know what I mean? And we having conscious conversation. We smoking on. I didn't even smoke weed back then. She's like here, smoke this purple haze. I'm like, you sure? She like, yeah, you know, we gonna have this talk. We gonna, you know, so we having these spiritual talks. You feel me? She's you know, she trying to heal a nigga type shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, she was a scripper, so it's but so far we could go. You know what I mean? It's but so far we could go. But she showed me something that, you know, you'd be surprised that people in the most quote unquote, that's why I have a soft spot for trying to rescue the motherfucking women of the night. You know what I mean? I'm the type of nigga to run in with a cape and try to, let's get you out of this burning building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she booked a nigga. You know what I mean? I was, you know, she booked a nigga. You know what I mean? But she was good people's though. You know what I'm saying? She was definitely good people's. We had some great conversations. You know what I'm talking about? We don't have no kids together, so I'm good. You know what I mean? It wasn't even really physical like that. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with you. It wasn't even like I was you know, it wasn't like a lustful type of thing. She captured a nigga's brain. Pause. Like she captured my mind type shit. And it was so ill because you see a stripper and you don't think that that's what you're gonna get. You thinking that it's just gonna be a hit and run. You just thinking that she's a piece of flesh. And the girls that was in college, they had a lot of good talk. She was a Gemini. Yeah, she was a Gemini. Star for law. She was a Gemini. Sharif, help me, man. I'm out here butt naked right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm bearing my soul, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? She was a Gemini. So you already know what that was about. You already know what that was about. I had to burn a lot of candles after that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep it a buck. She was Meech's girl. He had a whole bunch of them, but she was one of this nigga. She was one of Meech's girls. So I was playing with fire, nigga. Literally. You know what I mean? But she had a good heart. You understand? And she saw something in me. You know what I mean? I wasn't red pill, I was twin. You feel me? She saw something in me and she spoke to that person. She spoke to that person that she saw. And I was like, what? She was like, yes, nigga. She was like, you're better than these niggas. You feel me? The people that you surround yourself with, they jealous of you. The people that you around and whatnot, they're not on your level. You're not even supposed to be doing this shit right here. I'm like, how you telling me that and you doing what you doing? She was like, if I had a choice, I wouldn't be here. But I'm here because I don't have no options. This is what I do. I was like, word, that's deep. So tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah. She gassed the nigga. You know what I'm talking about? She was pumping me up with some motherfucking, Texaco. Texaco. You know what I'm saying? She was pumping me up with the Texaco. You know what I'm saying? But that's Atlanta for you. That's really what Atlanta, like I be telling people, the women of the night in Atlanta, once again, this is pre-BMF era, right? Their era started the day the wolf died, right? The whole energy switched, you know what I mean? And it was a takeover after that. But like, even I don't know about now because I'm not nowhere around that world. How old was I? Let me see. I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s and whatnot. It's that all the strippers are rappers now. Right. So you feel me? So they were the upper echelon. They controlled a lot of the quote unquote, they were considered to be the tip of the pyramid of the iceberg at that time. Like they were running the city, you know what I'm saying? They were running the city. They had a lot of sway. So if they tapped, if they co-signed you, if they was like, yo, he's one of them niggas, then that was literally like getting signed to a major label type shit. You know what I mean? Your life became a lot easier in Atlanta if you had the stamp of the tramp. You know what I mean? If you got stamped by a tramp, my nigga, it was like 800 credit, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You was swiping like tip drill. You just swiper. You know what I mean? You ain't had to pay for no wings, no ranch dressing. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to wait in line. You was him. You was Timothy. You know what I'm talking about? And they was looking for you from all over. You know what I mean? Your name was out there with no internet. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what type of intelligentsia the hood had, because they was sending a lot of motherfucking information around with just payphones. I'm still flabbergasted by it. You know? But the tramp stamp is real. I don't know about right now. I can't call it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know what has happened out here. You know what I mean? I think this shit has gone to shit. You know what I mean? Because just too many people have come to Atlanta with the wrong intentions. Like I said, when I was out here back in those days, people were dying, but they weren't killing. Like people was dying, but they wasn't killing like that. After Katrina, when them New Orleans niggas came, that's the shit that made it dark. They brought the murder game, they brought the robbery game, the murder game, the stick up game, and then after that, the gangs came with all of that Bloods and Crips and GDs and everything. That fucked it up. And then everybody thought that they was a goddamn kingpin drug dealer. That fucked it up. And then the rest of Hell's Rejects just decided to get on a Greyhound and fucking Spirit Air and moved out here, and that fucked it up. So now this place is a you know what I mean? It's a fucking a pig pen. Pig pen. Nothing like what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust anybody. People got all kind of spirits on them. This is a bastion for dark magic and voodoo and whatnot, and Ifa going the wrong way and all kind of shit. So when we talk about Atlanta, we're not trying to play Atlanta. What up? We're not trying to play Atlanta. We're not trying to talk down to the city, because I know people are very adamant about their hometown. They stand on Atlanta pride and whatnot. And by all means, do your thing. We got to be real. We just got to be real. This shit. Oh, and Housewives of Atlanta did not help. God damn it. Nene and Portia and these tramps, they turned this shit into a circus. You know what I'm talking about? Chicks got teeth looking like chiclets and Tic Tacs, nigga. You know what I mean? And bad bodies and whatnot. Come on now. This is not the Atlanta that I signed up for. So if y'all coming out here, come wearing a body condom. You know what I'm saying? And come with your head on swivel. You feel me? And don't, please, by any means, do not fall for the shit that's glittering that look like gold. I promise you, because it's all the glitters is not gold out here. You're gonna find. I don't want you to find out the hard way. Yeah, you better wear a body condom, because man, this shit right here is different. It's different. Spiritually transmitted diseases. Spiritually transmitted diseases, to the point where if I see Shorty, I'm gonna walk right by her like I don't even know her. No disrespect, but it's like I can't, you know what I mean? I can't trust nobody from my past in Atlanta because, you know, I know what I went through and I know how I switched up and I know what I got rid of and I know how I changed up, but I can't trust nobody to be on that same frequency. You know what I mean? You wasn't on my radar. I ain't see you working on yourself. Like, I don't know what you want to. I don't, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, when you change your energy, you repel certain people. Because I was able to draw certain people in because I had a certain frequency at that time. My frequency at this point doesn't even allow me to see certain things because people would be like, yo, it's a lot of Bati Boy and Chichi Man. I'm like, my frequency does not, I don't even see that shit. I don't know what nobody's talking about because my frequency, my energy repels everything that I don't want to attract to me. So I don't even know about that world. I know it exists somewhere, but I ain't gonna be in Linux on the weekends. I'm not doing the Shamar dance, nigga. I don't even know what that shit is about. You feel me? I don't even know what that shit is about. You know? So, you know, it's many worlds that exist out here. But you gotta be on that frequency to attract that world to come into your world. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on that frequency to even open up those portals to where motherfuckers will just manifest and be around you like that. I don't know about them, the young killers, the YNs and all of that. The niggas is drilling. I don't know about none of that stuff. I hear about it, but I don't know about it. I'm not in that world. I ain't in that world. You know what I'm saying? I observe that shit from the internet sometimes when I want to laugh and I look at a 20v1, I go check out YSL Woody and all of them. But that's not my world. That's not my world. I did make some merch with his face on it though. Welcome to Atlanta. I put all of the ratchet niggas on the t-shirt, but you know, that's just for business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I sell water to a well, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? It's business. It's not personal. You know? I don't go to a restaurant unless somebody gave it a good food review. You know what I'm saying? I be out of the way. You know what I mean? I be out of the way. I never been in a house this much in my life. Niggas know when I was in New York, I was outside every day. I would take my whiz outside. My whiz was running the streets with me. I could not stay in the house to save my life. But in Atlanta, nigga, I'm a homebody. You feel me? I'm a homebody, my nigga. I don't get out much. There's nothing to really get out. There's not too much to get out. I'll go to New Black Wall Street and go chill with Jeff for a little while, hang out with my guy. You feel me? But all of that other extracurricular shit, I ain't into that. I'm not missing nothing. Yeah, I guess I'm getting older. You know? I guess I'm getting older. You feel me? They do a lot of shootings out here. You feel me? It's a lot of shootings. It's a lot of clapping. You know what I mean? Random shit. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, there's a white Atlanta. There's mayonnaise Atlanta. And you know, you could run into that if you into that, you know, if you go down the white brick road, you could run into mayonnaise Atlanta. It's all white, doing white shit. Niggas out here bungee jumping and doing all kind of, you know, white activities. You know, you said ain't nothing new outside. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to create a new outside. I guess we got to create a new outside because the old outside is like we've been there, done that type shit. Like, what do I look like going back into a world where we've been there, done that? I'm more so interested in creating a world where these children could be lit. You know what I mean? That would bring joy to me. I'm good. Like what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? My shit is out of the country. My vacations is the way I enjoy myself is, I'm going to an island or somewhere. I'm going to a continent somewhere type shit. That's the stuff that gets me excited, to be honest with you. And I've made this appeal before. The parents should just come together, stop playing games, and start building out some shit for these little ones so they could meet each other and they could bond and they could put their intelligent genius minds together and start creating and whatnot. You feel me? I want to make content houses so these children, these babies could catch up to Casanet. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. I want to see a child that I know getting 700,000 subscribers at $5 a subscriber. That's winning right now to me. That nigga is winning. These little niggas are entertaining. I was entertained watching the motherfucking Mafia-thon. Real talk. I was enthralled. Let me show you something. So it's not just me. I was on Instagram today and I seen this video. I was laughing. I was like, man, I don't know what it is. But it's me keeping my ear once again just to the culture. It's an innocent observation, right? It's an innocent observation of me keeping my ear and just being one of those people like, I like to take the temperature of the culture, and then I come and I let people know, yo, this is where the culture is going. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in front of it. You feel me? But here she go. Here to go the white woman.
I'm a 50-year-old white woman that has never watched a day of streaming, a streamer ever in my life. Didn't even know what they were. But when I tell you that I am on here on TikTok every day checking to see what Kai's doing, y'all, this guy is pure entertainment. I mean, he has me laughing. I am 100% invested. Like, I want to know what he's doing. I want to know what he did last night. I want to know who's coming. I want to know what's Rakai doing. What's Ray up to? Literally, who am I? I don't know all the terms and the verbiage they use and the words about streaming. I have no idea about any of that. I don't know. But I'm starting to talk like them. I watch it all the time, and the verbiage is now in my head. So I'm calling myself bruh in my brain. I'm saying gang. What? I might even be saying the N-word in my own head, and I don't say that word. But in my brain, it's not bad. It's like a term of endearment. It's like what I'll call my best friend or something. I know it's not right. But in my mind, I'm like, how do you watch something like that all the time and not pick the verbiage up? Poor Ray. Ray is in it. He did a TikTok about how hard it is because he hears it all day. And that's the one word he can't say. And Kai just seems like a gem. Like, I don't know him at all. He could totally have me fooled here, but I've only been down this rabbit hole for like 10 days. But he seems so genuine and so nice, and like he realizes.
Now she's saying nigga every chance that she gets. She's nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that's the shit that the pale people, the clear people go through. It's funny though.
Where he came from, and he knows he's blessed. And speaking of blessed, he gives a whole new meaning to the word, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. Because Kai will stand 10 toes down with you and defend his God and his Jesus like he loves him some Jesus. But the mouth on him is pretty funny. So, just wondering, is there any other, like, normal, average, 50-year-old-ish white women, moms, totally out of the realm of where you should be watching this streamer and kind of enjoying it. Actually, a lot enjoying it. Keep it up, Kai.
Like, once again, they love the culture, right? They love the personas. You know what I'm talking about? As long as it's entertaining them, right? As long as they're being entertained. You know, Kai Cenat is not scary to them. You know what I'm talking about? Because she didn't mention anything about the scary ones. She said all of the ones that are not scary. She didn't say nothing about my nigga Tylell and them from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Because they lit. You know what I mean? They're not tamed. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not here to judge. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to judge. I'm just sharing how certain new people are redefining this new realm of entertainment. Like Kendrick Lamar is redefining. Kendrick Lamar got white people on whatchamacallit, on the YouTube and all over going crazy, nigga. They fucking kissing the ring, nigga. They're bowing down to this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's the power of the culture. You know what I mean? The culture is a global culture. You know what I mean? Who's funding Casanet? McDonald's. He got a McDonald's deal and he signed to Nike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might want to jump off the roof when you hear that, but it is what it is. You know, these are streamers. And, you know, I wish that Tassilis or, you know, somebody from the vegan community would have got to him, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? So these children have, you know, big corporations, right? Throwing money at them because they see the power, they see the influence, and they see the quote unquote appeal that the younger generation says. So I'm just showing you what your child could be doing, right? They don't have to sign to McDonald's, but I'm letting you know that these children are playing video games because he's not even a streamer that plays video games. He just talks, right? The children are playing video games, right? They are talking in a room and whatnot. They're being themselves. Whatever they're doing, they get into a quote unquote bag, right? The new economy is the subscription model. Some of them are mastering that and whatnot. Feel me? The white boys was doing it before, but now the brothers are coming along and they taking the money and whatnot. Because before it was the white streamers, they was killing this shit. They was making millions of dollars a month. You feel me? So for the children that's not getting paid playing video games and they sitting around and you like, damn, you ain't doing nothing with your life. Like, set them up to where they could go ahead and get some bread. You said, is he being used to help people eat trash? I wouldn't necessarily say that because it was, you know, they gave him a burger in his name and whatnot. But to be honest with you, them little niggas that's watching his show, they not vegans. They was eating McDonald's anyway. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop. Let's get off the high horse. Like, these little niggas is eating fast food, ramen noodles. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they eat until somebody comes along and shows them a better way. So whatever got you from eating McDonald's or whatever pulled you up out of the Chinese food store or whatever got you convinced to get your skin cleared up and whatnot and to do a detox, then hopefully these young kids will come across that information as well. You feel me? I would say, why don't you start a stream? Why don't you become a streamer where you're teaching the dangers of McDonald's, and you're giving them Yaki information, KT's information, Dr. Sabi's information, right? You can do that. You could do it, right? Or what about your child? What is your child doing? Is your child following your footsteps? Did you raise your teenager to go ahead and get into the streaming world and be the antithesis to that? I know you never ate it, but you know what I'm talking about. We don't need all of that. You understand what the fuck I'm saying? You feel me? Because like I said last night, I would rather a Cassinet before a Little Dirk, a King Von. You feel me? I would rather that. I would rather a rags to riches story where you see a child who used to be in a shelter with his mama, single mama, living in a shelter, coming from nothing to whereas they making a few 70 million, what? How much is that? 700,000. Let's do the math. Let's do the math. So he's making $3.5 million a month, right? $3.5 million a month just from having a channel, you know? But remember, he didn't always have the bag. Like I said, my son put me on to him. I was looking at him when he had 1,500 followers on Twitch. He didn't always have the bag. You know what I mean? He's not doing nothing special that nobody with a personality can do. The bag is definitely would get him caught up, but the bag wasn't always there. The bag is not always there. If you got a personality, if you got something to talk about, if you authentic, if you got a crew, because he have people around him, AMP, he got a support team. Duke Dennis is lit, nigga. What are you talking about? Phantom is lit. Agent is lit. What do you mean? Chris is lit. Ray is lit, nigga. They all lit. They all got their own following. They got their own movement. They moving like a unit. Where's your unit at? Why don't we put some children together? The teenagers need to come together on a frequency and match that shit. Get to their bag and turn up and represent a higher frequency. I'm just showing you the business model. This is a business talk. I'm not fawning over this young man. I'm putting you niggas onto a new business model that is going to take over. It's already taken over. People are sitting around trying to figure out, yo, how can I be the next Kai? How can I get on that? How can I get 100,000 followers, or not followers, no more subscribers? The game changed. It's subscription based. It's not fuck a follower. Follower, what? What is a follower? Follower is doing nothing for you. The follower is doing nothing for you. You need a subscriber. If you believe in me, subscribe to me. Cause here it is. People will be like, "Hi this, hi that." So are you down with the Patreon that we got? Are you supporting what we doing? You feel me? If you want to talk about what he got supporters. The reason why they talking about his name is his people is showing, you know what? When you come around, you seeing 700,000 people believe in him to the point where they're subscribing to him. What are we doing? Once again, because this is at last time I checked, we still in a motherfucking capitalistic country, my nigga. This, like, let's come back to earth. Yeah, it's only $5 a month. You spend $5 when you open your eyes these days. $5 is the new dollar. I would prefer him over DJ Academics anyway. I would prefer him over DJ Academics any day. DJ Academics, I'm from Flatbush. Both of these niggas is Caribbean, right? I think Kai, his mama is his dad is Haitian, and his mama might be Trini or whatnot. She remind me of Trini mamas that I know from Flatbush, but I know his type and I know DJ Academics type because I come from Flatbush. I grew up around these people. These are all personality types, right? These are all personality. I know the personality type of a DJ Academics. I stay far away from those types. They'll get you locked up. These niggas is not thorough. You feel me? He's Haitian and Trinidadian. That's a weird combo, but hey, it works for him. You know what I'm saying? But the DJ Academics type, the stands and the tricks, yes. That's why he got such a following because, you know, everybody relates to somebody out here. You feel me? Everybody relates to somebody out here. But I would love to tap into one. I've met stars. I've met star seeds. Keep this in mind. I've met star seeds. I like I said on the show yesterday, I be talking to 8-year-olds who come up to me and introduce themselves and have some real deep conversations with Brother Red Pill. You know what I mean? I got 7-year-olds who know how to rap, who got bars. You feel me? The young guard, the Hootie. Okay. My dude, Andre 360's son. He was performing at an event the other day. He ripped the stage more than I did. 7 years old. You feel me? Like these star seeds is not playing. They got personality. They got a mind of their own. They got wisdom beyond their years, and what I want to see them winning. I want to see them making 100 bands, 200 bands, 300 bands, 3 million a month. That's what I want to see them doing. So I'm just letting y'all know that that's no longer a dream, my genius. You know how we work? You know how we work as melanated people? When one of us do it, all of us do it. So the fact that he got 700,000 subscribers, that means that there's people right now saying, I'm going to become the next Castanet, and that's what they're going to do. I've been in this shit long enough to see how it works. Once one person raises the bar, we follow. That's what we do as a people. We follow. He set a blueprint. He showed niggas the blueprint. That's all we need is a blueprint, and we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna take it from there. So that's what they're doing right now. They're taking his blueprint and they're gonna apply that shit and they're gonna run with that shit. And I'm letting y'all know who are parents out here. Your son and your daughter could take you out of apartment 4D, nigga. They could take you out of apartment 4D, nigga, right now. Just being themselves. Just being genuinely themselves. They don't have to compromise themselves. They gonna come up. They gonna be the ones that's gonna come up. It's about them right now. You feel me? You got people that's 60 and 70 years old competing with 7 years old in this space and whatnot. Sit down. No disrespect. No disrespect, none whatsoever. But it's a new day. It's a new era. Too much fucking noise is out here. We gotta clear the stage and let these niggas shine. That's all I'm saying. I'm just giving the game because people are gonna hear about this young man, and of course they're gonna go right to hating. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're an old ass nigga and you hating on a goddamn 20-year-old. Astaghfirullah, what's wrong with you? You expect a 20-year-old to have the maturity of a nigga that's 50, and some of these 50 and 60 years old, they not even mature like that. They don't even have it together. They're not even mature like that. They don't even have characteristics like that. Y'all women is going on dates, you know what it is, and vice versa. Where's your content houses at? Niggas talk about they got real estate. Where's the content houses? Because where's the cameras at? Where's the content houses? Because that's what we talking about, making content. You know what I'm saying? That's what's lit right now. Where the content houses? Because that's what we need. That's what these children need to save them and whatnot. We live in these killing fields and these hoods and whatnot. These children need somewhere to go to make content. And they need dudes to get out of their hair and whatnot and let them do what they do. As long as they're not out here promoting niggatry and fuckery, we shouldn't even bother them. I tell my son, you could curse all you want. I'm not gonna, I am not going to, but I don't care. I was in Rikers Island at 16. You made it. You know what I'm saying? I know what we was into when we was younger. I would never judge no child, bro. I would never judge no child. Y'all missed out on cryptocurrency. We was on this platform for more than 10 years, pleading our hearts with niggas to, yo, just buy some crypto. We could have all been billionaires right now if everybody was just listening and stop judging. Nah, I don't believe in that shit. What happened when the satellites crash? Nigga, did they crash yet? Did they crash yet? What are you talking about? Shout out to Dr. Valentine with that XRP. I know he's having a good time right now. Did they crash out? What are we leaving the youth? What are we building for the youth? Too much finger pointing. What are we building for the youth? And you wonder why they be dissing the unks and the aunties and they don't want to have nothing to do with the old heads. I just showed you earlier where niggas come from. Dilapidated, worn down, burnt down, broken down motherfucking communities. And it's not the same. It went up. It's not even like that no more. Dudes is living in castles now. Dudes is living in Scarface like mansions. Niggas got lawns the size of the old blocks that they come from. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, are you fucking dumb? Like, what are we talking about? Like, life is great. And people still having issues. What are these kids doing? I'm here to let you know what the kids are doing. I'm here to let you know what the kids are doing. The kids are getting to the bag, bro. So we still live in America. Feel me? These kids who was eating, you know what I mean, who had to sleep with roaches and rats, they get into the bag and they're getting to it in a way where they're not putting their quote unquote their freedom on the line. It's people locked up doing life that's tight right now. They wish they could be doing a podcast and getting fucking the same amount of money that YSL Woody is getting, nigga. This nigga's getting $40,000 to show up to do a YouTube skit, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead and buy more XRP. Get your XRPs on, nigga. Go ahead. Do all of that. You know what I mean? Do all of that. Yeah, load it up. Load it up. And when you become a billionaire, what you finna do? You still holding? What you finna do? What's your plans? When you gonna build a nation state? Where's our project 2025 at? Where's the XRP niggas writing out the new plan for the future? Where's the Bitcoin millionaires writing out the plans for the future? Where y'all at? Because we laid a lot of game out when Bitcoin was like $20. Them niggas took that shit and ran with it. We never heard from them again. Where's it at? Where's the plans at? Where's the visionaries at? You niggas is not even projecting 100 years into the future. And you have the foundation now. You done sat in the EYL, you day trading, night trading, afternoon trading, stock trading, all kind of shit. You got XRP, you got Bitcoin, you got Litecoin. Well, where's your plans at? Because the Rothschild nigga, they said that he was hoarding. That's why the crib went up in flames, because he was hoarding and whatnot. You niggas are hoarders, or you're planning on doing something with it instead of hating on 20-year-olds. What's the plans? What we doing? Because the reality that we all wanted to manifest has manifested. Real talk. You could literally wake up and become a billionaire now. That wasn't possible in 2012. Like that literally you could wake up to $1 billion now. So we should thank our ancestors. We should thank the pantheon of the ancestors, the ones that are on the other side. We should thank the master teachers who told us that this was going to happen. It is here now. So what's up? There's nothing to complain about. What's popping? Yeah. They ain't even laying out secret plans. Let's stop. Let's not even do that. They're not even laying out secret plans. You know what I'm talking about? What could we say? But that's enough for me for tonight. You know what I mean? We 3 hours and change. We're gonna fix the link for the whatchamacallit, the buy me a coffee. I just seen that something is going wrong with that. So it's all good. We have a big announcement to make tomorrow that relates to what we have coming up with our December class, our December lecture. We have a big announcement tomorrow that we're going to make about the December lecture. I'm sure that y'all are going to love this one. You know what I mean? This is going to be we're going to close the year out with a big one. We're going to close the year out with a bang, my geniuses. Because to be honest with you, this was a wonderful year. This was a W year right here. You know what I mean? All of the lectures was popping. All of the classes was popping. Everything was on point. We made it through we made it through this Jason month with our heads high. A lot of people didn't sell out themselves and get caught up in the traps of politics and politics and whatnot. Motherfuckers was able to dodge all of the fuckery. You know what I mean? We was able to do a lot of these things, you know? We was able to do a lot of these things. So it's literally time to celebrate. We made it through a bear market, and we're going to be going into 2025 in a bull market. So for everybody that held, you know what I mean, that held their faith strong and whatnot and stood on business, you finna win. Nothing to be worried about. Everything. We need to get into rejoicing more. If this shit, if this was a Christian channel, niggas would be saying hallelujah. We'd be having prayers and hallelujah. You know? It's time to celebrate. It's time to give thanks. It's time to have more gratitude, because it's worth it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We be making shit harder than what it really is. It's not that hard. It's you know, it's not that many burdens on us. Real talk. It's not that many burdens on us. Give praise and thanks every day. You know what I mean? This shit could be a lot darker than what it is. Make sure y'all sign up to the Twitchington, because the Twitch is going to be lit. We have big plans. As they develop, we will share them with you, and we will keep everyone updated and whatnot. Shout out to all of my Patreons. We got something special coming for you. Shout out to all of my KT aliens. Thank you for your support. At the end of the day, Cyber Monday. Real quick, let's have a commercial. Let me see if we could pull up the commercial for the Cyber Monday. Yeah, Black Friday sale still going on all the way into Cyber Monday on the March 1 to 5th. So make sure you go over there and get you some drip. It is hoodie season. It was like 20 degrees this morning in Atlanta. Shit crazy and whatnot. So it's definitely hoodie season. the mart125.com. Go ahead and get yourself dripped up and whatnot. We got that new drip. And with that being said, we'll see you on Melanin Monday. Peace, love, and
red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the legend, sacrilegious Sunday to Melanin Monday. You can get to know the legend, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.